Testing. Testing 1 2. Test test test.
Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3.
Repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commit. The Radial Tire Company on
It's been a long couple of seasons, but now the Thunderbolts are back in Montgomery County, here on the campus of Montgomery Blair High School. I'm Peter Kelly, he's Patrick Moran, for an exhibition game for this Thunderbolts team. The first time that they will take the field here at Blair Baseball Stadium in 2026. Hello everyone and welcome, so glad you could join us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Temperature breezing into the high 70s, and it's a perfect day for baseball here in Montgomery County. Patrick, we got an exhibition game today between the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts and the visiting DC Grays. Coming up, they'll play their home games at Catholic University down at Talbot Field. But turning our attention to today, it's just an exhibition, so we'll see these teams rotating a lot of starting pitching, a lot of offensive firepower into this game. What are you looking to see as kind of your first taste of Thunderbolts baseball this summer?
Yeah, I'm looking for every guy to look good on the field today. That's just the main priority. Everybody's healthy, everybody's moving well. Just plenty of trials and tribulations are going to take place. As you mentioned, they're going to get as many guys reps as possible on both sides for the Thunderbolts and the Grays. So want to see some standout performances, seeing some guys look good, and hopefully we can get a good season here in Silver Spring.
Certainly exciting to be here for this exhibition game with you, Patrick, and Sam Bergstrom will hear from in a little bit. He's our writer for this year. Patrick and I, two of the broadcasters, Brian Alves III, will join us when the season officially starts on June 2nd. That coming up in just a couple of days when the Thunderbolts will take on the Bethesda Big Train at Shirley Povich Field. Looking at the game today, though, it is an exhibition, and with that means the rules are traditionally kind of thrown out the window. So instead of the traditional 9 or 10, the Thunderbolts will bat 14 in their lineup today. The top 9 will start in the field, and we can get you those from left to right in the outfield. It'll be Trent Lopez, Caleb Sturdivant, and Gabe Pegues. In the infield, third baseman Samuel Camacho, the shortstop Jonah Acosta, over at second David Vazzo, and at first Nolan Cutney returning to the Thunderbolts. Behind the plate doing the catching is going to be Mason Kelleher, and we'll await on a starting pitcher, as again we're just about 5 to 6 minutes away from getting this one underway, reaching 5-2, the 6 o'clock mark here in this beautiful sunlit Montgomery Blair baseball field. Head coaches commencing their pregame meeting for the Thunderbolts. It'll be Brock Hunter once more taking over this team around the COVID pandemic, and now he's been here for a couple of seasons, and he's turned this team into a team that is certainly respected in the throes of this league. Thunderbolts have a lot of work to do this season, Patrick. The last season for them was maybe not how they would have loved. A lot of rain delays in it, as you're familiar with, but Silver Spring finished the season 14-19, and across the diamond we see DC, they finished last year 17-21. But both these teams certainly have a lot of firepower. They're just looking to return back to the top of the Baltimore County Ripken League.
No doubt about it. And the Thunderbolts got off to a really good start last season. As fans may remember, the pitching was looking great. The offense was clicking on all cylinders. And unfortunately, it kind of fizzled out a little bit. So the Thunderbolts hoping to maintain a high level of performance. These coaches are great. You talk about Brock Hunter. Coach Max is on the staff as well, Max Eckert. These guys do a really good job developing these players, and I have no doubt that they're going to get what they can out of these guys. Just plenty of different players coming from D1, D2, D3, the JUCO ranks, and, the blend of everybody on one team is really good to see.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Brock Hunter, the head coach of the Thunderbolts. And the other side for DC, head coach will be Jack Besser, I believe. General manager Chris Spera for this DC squad that is clad in navy blue and gray on this Sunday evening. In this exhibition game, the home plate meeting has now wrapped up between the two skippers, and our two-man umpire crew will just wait right here. We'll get you a national anthem shortly, and then we'll be ready to go in game number 1 of many for the Silver Spring Thunderbolts this season. As mentioned, it's an exhibition, so it will not go in the tally in the win or the loss column, but it'd certainly be nice to see the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts pull out some success here in this game to kind of establish themselves early on in this league.
No doubt about it. I think the biggest thing you want to see is team building, team camaraderie overall across the board. Everyone's getting comfortable playing with each other, building some relationships with coaches, with teammates. That is the biggest thing to do here today at the field. So, yeah, just you want to see this team gel a little bit, everyone come together and get ready for a 2-month stretch of baseball here.
Certainly exciting to see the Thunderbolts take the field for the first time in 2026. Got their all-white uniforms on with the royal blue cap on, the red tee across the bill. Red numerals and red lettering across the chest, and a team that has a lot of prospects for this season. Certainly excited to see them go at it today with the DC Grays in this exhibition matchup. So again, the batting order will be 14 for Silver Spring Tacoma. Leading off is the shortstop Jonah Acosta. He's from the University of North Florida. Batting second is the center fielder Caleb Sturdivant, returning to the T-Bolts. He's from Millersville. In the 3 spot, the right fielder Gabe Pagis. He's from Lynchburg. Batting cleanup is the first baseman Nolan Cutney from UMBC. Batting fifth is David Vazo, the second baseman from Moravian College. In the 6th spot is catching Mason Kelleher from Frostburg. Batting 7th, the third baseman Samuel Camacho Jr. He's from Clarion. Batting 8th, the left fielder Trent Lopez. He's from Cornell. Batting 9th is Kai Schmelzer. He will catch sooner or later. That's the top 9. We'll get you the rest after the national anthem is played here in Montgomery-Blair. National anthem in the books as we are just about ready to go here at Montgomery-Blair. And once again, we'll take a look at this Thunderbolts starting defense. In the outfield is left fielder Trent Lopez, center fielder Caleb Sturdivant, right fielder Gabe Pagis, left to right in the infield Samuel Camacho, Jonah Acosta, David Vazo, Nolan Gutney. Doing the catching, Mason Kelleher. And the starting pitcher who we'll get a look at here is going to be Jacob Seek out of Chesapeake College. And Seek is someone that's bounced around a lot. Originally had a commitment to the University of Maryland, then ended up at junior college San Jacinto, then played at Frederick Community College, and now at his third school, which is Chesapeake College. Patrick, the stuff has always been electric for Jacob Seek, especially from the left side, and a bit of a tricky arm slot, but the command has sometimes been an issue.
Yeah, absolutely. And he got plenty of work with the Skipjacks this spring. He got 12 starts with them and punched out 42 hitters and 39 innings pitched. So really good for him. You know, I'm always intrigued by a left-handed arm. You know, those are harder to come by than righties. So if we can get a good look at him today, you mentioned that the stuff is really good. That is absolutely something that we're going to look for here today.
Certainly exciting to see what Jacob Seek can procure for the squad in this exhibition matchup. Seek winding down his warm-up throws as we've got a couple of DC Grays outside of their third base dugout taking some warm-up swings with the wooden bats. Just want to remind everyone that this is a wood bat league. A lot of summer collegiate baseball leagues will only use wood bats. It's kind of baseball at its purest form, Patrick, just kind of reducing it to its roots. Nothing too fancy, no BB core or anything, just plain old hardwood.
Absolutely. That's just part of the charm of this league. It's entirely wood bats, as you mentioned. It's something for players to get used to using, at least on the offensive side. You won't see as many home runs, right? You're not going to be seeing these tape measure shots, but like you mentioned, it's that old school baseball type of approach, baseball in its purest form. You said it best. So, yeah, it's just good experience for these players to get used to not aluminum. And you know, the wood can arguably be better in some instances. The aluminum definitely has its upsides and downsides. So definitely something for these players to get acclimated to this summer.
Well, we'll see our first player try to get acclimated here. The leadoff hitter for the Grays will be Peyton Ford, the sophomore from Wexford, Pennsylvania, that attended California University of Pennsylvania, and Seek's first pitch to Skide on the right side. Second baseman Vazo calls it, and he makes the catch on the edge of the outfield grass for the first out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Jacob Seek. He works quickly and he jams the hitter Peyton Ford there on an inside fastball.
Already seeing David Vazo be that guy in the infield this season. He really did it all last year, and he's able to play second base, shortstop, third base. Made the All-Star team in the Cal Ripken League's North Division, so this is a guy that the Thunderbolts are very excited to have back.
Two-hitter for the Grays is Evan Rosario, and he goes the opposite way. Cutney picks it up at first. He'll flip to Seek, but he's not going to get there in time. And Evan Rosario is going to beat out for a one-out single. Just hit it kind of in between the 3 and the 4 hole. Cutney is the one that called it, but left first base vulnerable, and neither Vazo or Seek could get over. And there's a base runner now with 1 out for the DC Grays.
You know, plays like that, this is what the preseason exhibition games are for. You work on those PFPs. You consider a guy like Nolan Cutney, who played mostly second base for these Thunderbolts last summer, getting used to first base a little bit, coming from UMBC. And, you know, just, yeah, it was also kind of hit awkwardly, so definitely something that they'll have to work on moving forward.
So now Evan Rosario is on first base, the freshman from Shepherd University. Standing in the left-handed batter's box for the Grays, the 3-hitter Evan Wilson. Played his collegiate ball at University of Richmond. Seek gives a look, now deals, and the off-speed misses above the zone for ball number 1. First pitch we haven't seen the DC Grays hack at, and Seek misses with that off-speed offering. Runner on, Seek will throw over, and it gets by Cutney. Rosario's going to take off from first. He'll look back, and he will skate into second easily. Second time Seek throws over to first base, and that time the side-arming delivery gets past Nolan Cutney. It's a free 90 for the DC Grays. So now with the runner on second in Rosario, Seek will look at the hitter, and he deals to Wilson. Taken upstairs, count goes 2-0. On deck for the Grays, Ryan Stoddard, freshman from Sarasota, Florida. Kill it from the right side, but now it's a lefty-lefty matchup between Seek and Evan Wilson. Seek checks Rosario, deals, it hits him. Evan Wilson wears it off of his white numeral 8, and he will head to first base. T-Bolts do get the force out back, but a couple of base runners on early against Seek and the cleanup hitter coming up.
You mentioned the force out, you know, back in play. Now that Jacob Seek can look to get a double play ball up the middle. You know, David Vazo, really good defenseman up the middle, and then he's going to be working with Jonah Acosta, at least in this first inning. Would like to see those two get a double play rep.
So with 2 on and 1 out, Ryan Stoddard steps in. Seek's first pitch is fouled straight back. Ryan Stoddard, a 6'3 freshman, will attend Lafayette College, but he played baseball at IMG Academy. Hasn't yet gotten a taste of full-time collegiate baseball, so this is his first little glimpse of what it's like. Seek deals. Swing and a miss. Good to see Seek bouncing back here. Gets an 0-2 count against Stoddard after hitting Evan Wilson and putting him on base.
It's really cool to see guys like this, take advantage, get out on these summer circuits and try and get ahead of the curve and get used to the competition that he's going to face in college.
Seeks 0-2. Off speed upstairs. Mason Kelleher, the catcher, couldn't bring it down inside the zone, and count goes 1-2. Seek checks on Evan Rosario at second. He's also got Evan Wilson on first, but he deals the 1-2, and it's caught on and missed. Jacob Seek puts a K on the board, and there are two gone here in the top of the first.
Just able to buzz it at the top. Really nice job there by Jacob Seek. You mentioned that he had great stuff coming out of the Chesapeake Community College, and you could really see it right there, just dotting that fastball where he couldn't catch up to it.
Drew Ribinski will stand in now in the 5 spot for the Grays. Seek's first pitch is a fastball upstairs. A lot of Seek's misses early on coming above the strike zone. And he's got a bigger zone here with Drew Ribinski, who stands at 6'3". Just finished up his freshman year at Georgetown and played high school at Mount St. Joseph in West Baltimore before becoming homeschooled for his past couple years. Seek deals. Fastball misses inside. Count 2-0 against Drew Ribinski, a power-hitting catcher for this DC Grays squad. Has a couple of ducks on the pond. Evan Rosario's on second base after he singled to the infield on the right side, and Evan Wilson's on first after he was hit by a pitch.
I'm sure you're well familiar with Mount St. Joe's, Peter, as a Calvert Hall grad. The private schools up in Baltimore, they can really compete.
I certainly am. Saw my fair share of Ribinski as he takes a strike that catches the upper edge of the zone. Ribinski's someone that was kind of off and on, dealt with a couple of injuries, and then, as I mentioned, he exited the MIAA, which is the conference that both Mount St. Joseph and Calvert Hall play in. Pitch gets by Kelleher. Both runners have looked to advance, and they will. So Evan Rosario will scamper into third. Evan Wilson gets to second easily. And the fastball is yanked a bit from Jacob Seek, and it ticks off the glove of Mason Kelleher. Second and third now. Still 2 outs for the T-Bolts, trying to escape this first inning after a little bit of traffic on the base paths.
You see on that pitch there, just like you mentioned, the miss is up, kind of tugging it too far up from the left side.
The 3-1 from Seek is fouled off towards the right side, hits right off of the support pole of the backstop netting.
That takes some precision. I mean, this is like 85, 90% netting, and you got the 5 beams. That's impressive that he was able to hit it off it.
3 balls, 2 strikes. 2 runners on for the Grays in the top of the first. Pitch from Seek. Swung on and missed. So Jacob Seek puts a couple on, but the T-Bolts starter wriggles out of it with back-to-back Ks. We'll take you to the bottom half of the first right here on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma United Therapeutics is guided by the principles of always striving to do the right thing and relentlessly pushing to always do better. As a result, the company was included among America's best companies by Forbes magazine. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Wild Bill Sports is
We welcome you back into the Thunderbolts Baseball Network, where the T-Bolts work through a scoreless first. Jacob Seek escaped some trouble on the base paths to send his team with the tie to the bottom half of this opening inning in this exhibition matchup. T-Bolts top of the order. It starts off with Jonah Acosta, the shortstop, batting from the left side. First pitch from Caden Wilson, the starter for the Grays, misses upstairs. Actually, this is Casey Edwards, the sophomore from Washington College. He toes the rubber this evening for the DC Grays. He settles into the stretch and deals to Acosta. Off-speed lands in there for a called strike one. It'll be Jonah Acosta, then Caleb Sturdivant, and Gabe Pagis, the three hitters in the hole for this T-Bolt squad. One and one the count. Pitch. Edwards yanks it. High and out, and Rybinski has to slide to his left to glove it. Count goes 2-1. Edwards settles. Is 2-1. Slider above the zone. 3-1 count for Jonah Acosta, who just finished up his freshman year at North Florida, a Division I school that competes in the ASUN. They were the top seed in that conference, but were eventually ousted in their conference tournament. Lipscomb was the school that got the bid to the NCAA tournament. 3-1 pitch misses upstairs, and Acosta works a 5-pitch walk to start off the bottom half of the first. And in a scoreless ball game, with nobody out, Caleb Sturdivant will step to the plate.
Sound at bat there by Acosta, and Brock Hunter certainly got to find his infielders to kind of work around David Vazzo, who we know is going to be somewhere. Most likely at shortstop. I know he's playing second today, but definitely some intriguing options on this roster for the T-Bolts that they can work with. You know, you have a Dominic Tilden coming out of LaSalle. Matthew Kim has been around the Thunderbolts for a little bit. Jonah Acosta, who we just saw, plenty of irons in the fire for Hunter to work with.
First pitch to Sturdivant missed upstairs. Edwards will glance over at Acosta on first base before dealing the 1-0. It's lifted out towards right. It'll chase Wilson back, but he's got it in the gap. He circles over and he makes the grab for the first down. With one out and a runner on in this scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the first, it'll be Gabriel Pagis, right-handed hitting outfielder from the University of Lynchburg. He'll stand in with Nolan Cutney in the hole. Acosta still on first after he worked a leadoff walk. Righty-righty matchup. First pitch to Pagis is a slider taken upstairs. Rybinski will want to pop up quickly from his stance behind the plate for the Grays so as to keep Jonah Acosta at bay. 1-0 count on the hitter Pagis. Edwards deals. Fastball in there for a called strike. The 1-1. High for ball two. Grab you the defense for the DC Grays quickly. Left to right in the outfield, Freeman Hunt, Peyton Ford, and Evan Wilson. In the infield is Aaron Roll, Benny Bakar, Evan Rosario, and Ryan Stoddard. Drew Rybinski's catching, and the pitcher is going to be Edwards. He deals, and it's well inside. Another 3-1 count early on for the starter Casey Edwards. We saw Silver Spring in the first inning, in the top of the first. They put a couple on base. One of them was a free pass to hit by pitch against Evan Wilson. Edwards looking to avoid the same kind of trouble as 3-1 is swung on and hit into center. Peyton Ford charges in, calls for it. He's still sprinting in, but he gloves it in his left-handed red glove. And there are 2 outs, so a swing on 3-1 from Pagis. He saw a pitch that he liked, but he just got under it, and after a long run, Peyton Ford makes the catch for the second out.
Now batting from UMBC, number 14.
2 outs, a runner on for the cleanup hitter Nolan Cutney. first baseman from UMBC in his second year with the Thunderbolts. Bottom of the first in a scoreless game. Edwards deals for the Grays. It's a fastball that catches the outer third for strike one. Cutney gives his head a waggle, but he will take that strike as the first pitch in his at-bat. Cutney had a solid campaign last year for the Thunderbolts. Hit .288, which was good for a third in that lineup. Pitch is swung on and missed, and it's an 0-2 hole against Cutney. Nice tight slider there from Edwards.
Nolan Cutney's a guy with plenty of polish coming out of a D1 program like UMBC, who is, quite frankly, really good last year, and so was Cutney on the summer circuit.
0-2 is lined towards second, but Evan Rosario is there on the ball. It just hangs up for him to grab. And there's out number 3 in the first. Both teams come out of the first inning of their season scoreless. We'll head to the second in this exhibition matchup here on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma United Therapeutics is guided by the principles of always striving to do the right thing and relentlessly pushing to always do better. As a result, the company was included among America's best companies by Forbes magazine. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. Wild Bill Sports is all about
Top of the second here at Blair Baseball Stadium. I'm Peter Kelly. Alongside me, Patrick Moran. Both teams were scoreless in the first inning, and already we've got a pitching change in this exhibition matchup. Jacob Seek's day is done after just one inning, and in his place will be Braden Featheroff. Patrick, you're familiar with him, and he's had an interesting journey that will continue after this summer.
No doubt about it. He was here last summer, pitched really well out of the bullpen, and he's moving up, moving out of the D2 ranks, formerly out of Clarion, and now he'll be headed up north to Stonehill to pitch some D1 baseball to close out his collegiate career. So cool for him that he was able to do that. Had a guy do that last year in Steve Thomas, but he made the jump from D3 to D1, so not as big of a jump for Featheroff, but regardless, this is a big arm for the Thunderbolts to have back this summer.
First pitch from Featheroff is a called strike. Good start to his outing. He will face off against Xavier Bradley, sophomore out of Southern University, native of Atlanta. He'll hit from the right side as the sixth hitter in this Grays order. Slider misses away from Featheroff, who, as you mentioned, will make the jump from D2 to D1 at the start of next school year. Featheroff winds and deals. Sinker that lands in there for strike 2. Base is empty in the top of the second in a scoreless ball game. Featheroff's 1-2. Sinker that runs inside. Xavier Bradley gives a little bit of a flinch. Featheroff, a big sinker slider guy, and a lot of juice on that sinker that will run in on right-handed hitters like Xavier Bradley. He wastes no time, throws a 2-2, and it's a slider that's a called strike 3. Xavier Bradley's not a fan, but he'll have to walk back to his third base side dugout. And it's another K on the board, the third straight for Thunderbolt pitching and the first of the day for Featheroff.
Really nice pitch there from Featheroff, just dotting the slider, slowing it down when he needed to, and he's kind of part of this Pennsylvania pipeline that the Thunderbolts got going on. They got a couple of guys from schools up in PA, such as LaSalle, Moravian, Clarion formerly, but there are a few other guys on this roster from Clarion. So, coming up from the north down here to Maryland, it's certainly a trend that the Thunderbolts have going on.
1-0 the count against the hitter Aaron Rowell, who's the third baseman today for the Grays. Side-arming delivery from Featheroff lands in there for a call of strike. As you mentioned, Featheroff, a big piece of the bullpen last year for this T-Bolts team, pitched to a really solid ERA of 1.4 over his 13 innings with the club. Slider that catches the zone, and it's not a very diverse arsenal for Featheroff, but it's really working so far. He's playing the sinker off of the slider, and they're both landing, and when they're both landing, they certainly work out well. He got another 2-strike count against Rowell, trying to put him away, and he jams him over towards the first base side and foul. We're going to want to check on that bat.
I was going to say, it sounded like the bat snapped. Featheroff just jammed him on the inside part, and he's going to have to go get a new bat.
Yeah, so Aaron Rowell will have to replace that bat, a sinker that runs in on the hands, and just the importance of being a sinker-slider guy. When you follow up a slider with a sinker, it looks like it's going to be a lot more over the plate than it is, and instead it runs inside. Rowell can't hold up, and he ends up at least chipping his bat, so he has to get a new one. Count stays 1-2 with 1 out, and the base is empty. Slider is popped up right in the middle of everything. Both middle infielders out, but it's going to be Jonah Acosta, the shortstop, to make the grab for the second out.
Kind of a Bermuda Triangle out there. Vazo was giving it a look, so was Acosta. Sturdivant coming in from center field, and way to get the communication skills going. Those are dangerous at points when you have the Bermuda Triangle. Everybody wants it, but the Thunderbolts able to work it out and collect an out in the process.
Base is empty, 2 outs. First pitch to Jackson Stallworth is a called strike. Featheroff in a groove right now. He's working efficiently. He's working in the zone, and he's working perfectly so far with 2 outs under his belt. Looking for a third to send the Grays down in order. Off speed is poked foul down the third base side, and it's a third straight 0-2 count. Jackson Stallworth for the DC Grays.
He's listed as a two-way player on their roster, and he's only a freshman, so this could be a really exciting player for the DC Grays. I mean, at least just he passes the eye test. This is a big kid coming out of Pensacola State College, 6'1", 215. He looks every bit of it.
1-2 the count now. Stallworth, the two-way player like you mentioned. One of those elite junior colleges that is Pensacola State. The 1-2 from Featheroff, swung on and missed. Couple of Ks in the inning for Braden Featheroff, and he seats the Grays down as they stood. Through 1.5 here on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network. We'll get you to the bottom of the second in just a minute.
The Radial Tire Company on 910. Wild Bill Sports is all about travel baseball and fun. At Wild Bill Sports, travel baseball is the journey players take to develop skills, increase confidence, and grow with integrity on and off the field. Wild Bill Sports also promotes community engagement and giving back. Contact Wild Bill Sports at wildbillsports.com. Wild Bill Sports, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levin's is famous for its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma.
COA in Gaithersburg.
Bottom of the second here at Montgomery Blair Baseball Stadium. It'll be 5, 6, 7 in the Thunderbolt order, starting off with David Vazo, one of a couple of 2-year Thunderbolts. First pitch from Casey Edwards is a slider that forces Vazo to duck, and he misses the zone for ball 1.
Yeah, Vazo, like you mentioned, a returning member this summer. And the Thunderbolts, I think, do a really good job of guys coming back to Silver Spring Tacoma. You know, they want to keep playing for the Thunderbolts, and that's good. I mean, a prime example is a Matthew Walters, who was here for, I think, 3 or 4 summers off the top of my head. So these coaches must really make an impression for these guys to come back. I'll be taking over the play-by-play for a minute, as it is now 2-1 on David Vazo. That pitch is upstairs, hits off the glove of the backstop for the DC Grays. The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. David Vazo will take his walk. Second walk of the day for the T-Bolts. And Vazo, who has some speed, is going to absolutely be a threat on the base paths. Excuse me. Next up is the Thunderbolts catcher, Mason Keller. That is a ball down low. Keller coming out of Frostburg State University right here in Maryland. They were playing really well as a D2 program, consistently on the heat sheets for the collegiate level. And he'll take ball 2. Keller waits on the 2-0. Is upstairs, 3-0. Edwards deals, and it is ball 4 inside. So back-to-back walks worked by the Thunderbolts, and looks like we're going to have a conference on the mound. Called by the catcher, Drew Rabinski. Runners on first and second as Sam Camacho Jr., starting at the hot corner today, will get his first at-bat. Runners at first and second. No score for the Thunderbolts in the bottom of the second inning. First pitch kind of leans back a little bit, as that had some curve to it. But he gets it in there for a strike. Talking about Pennsylvania schools earlier, Camacho is from the aforementioned Clarion. He's able to get that into the center field for a base hit. Runners go station to station, and the bases are loaded for the Thunderbolts.
Now batting, number 9 from Cornell University, Trent Lopez.
Now it'll be Trent Lopez getting the start in left field. Got a great opportunity with the bases loaded, nobody out. First pitch, upstairs, ball 1. Casey Edwards, the sophomore out of Washington College, Not having a great time with command as Trent Lopez, I believe, fouled that back. The 1-1 on its way is strike two. That pitch is upstairs for ball two, evening up the count. That is ball three. So Trent Lopez has worked this count full.
Come on. It's full count, so it's not like.
And Lopez takes ball four. That'll bring in the first run of the game. Really well done there by the Thunderbolts to just be patient. And it looks like we might have a pitching change. It'll at least be another mound meeting. There is action in the bullpen for the DC Grays, but this appears to be just an infield meeting. Nothing has changed about the scenario currently for the Thunderbolts except for the fact that they have a run on the board.
Now batting, number 20, Kai Schmeiser.
That'll be Kai Schmeizer's turn, one of three catchers on the roster. He takes outside for ball one. The Thunderbolts showing a really patient approach at the moment. They've been able to take their walks and work some really good at-bats, which is what you absolutely want to see in this league. He'll take strike one. Brock Hunter working with a whole new staff of catchers this summer. Had Jack McCarthy and Vance Bonnier last year, who were here for a couple of summers, but now those two are not here. So there are guys like Kai Schmeiser, Mason Keller, who we're seeing get some at-bats today. Might also see Wade Hardick out of Chicago. He's counting even up to 2-2. Anything works for the Thunderbolts in a scenario like this, even a double play. That is fouled away. The 2-2 on its way. It's upstairs, ball three. T-Bolt's really making Casey Edwards earn it, as he has another full count and another foul ball. You love to see this kind of passion coming from the T-Bolts for a game that, quite frankly, doesn't mean anything. This is only a preseason matchup, and that's ball four. The struggles continue for Casey Edwards. The Thunderbolts pick up their second run and still don't have anybody out.
Now batting, number 38, Wade Hartick.
And speak the devil, mentioning the catching room this summer, it'll be Wade Hardick. Ball one from Edwards.
Aiden Prell. Aiden Prell.
That is ball two from Edwards. My oh my, this has not been the best inning from Casey Edwards, but still has some room to work as he fires in strike one. Nice breeze coming up here in the booth. That feels good. On a side note, the 2-1. Nice breaking ball in there for strike two. Count is even, and that is fouled away into the netting. Brock Hunter given a chance to every catcher that is on his roster today. Mason Keller doing the dirty work behind the plate, but Schmeiser and Hardick both getting at-bats. 2-2 again, and he freezes him. Strike three. Nice pitch from Casey Edwards, as I think that inning's just going to come to an end. Not much to do about that. Don't want to make it too long on these guys for an exhibition game, and the Thunderbolts will put up 2 in the bottom of the second. We will head to the third.
Top of the third here at Montgomery Blair. The Thunderbolts now lead the DC Grays by a score of 2-0. And the DC Grays will bring up the bottom of their order now, trying to get back the 2 runs that they just surrendered. First pitch from the new Thunderbolt pitcher, Christian Dre, is a fastball that misses downstairs. Dre just finished up his freshman year at the University of Richmond, one of a couple Thunderbolts that attended McLean High School just across the Potomac in Virginia. His 1-0 is taken low and away. The hitter Freeman Hunt is the left fielder today for the DC Grays. He'll hit from the right side. And Hunt plays his college ball at Dickinson. Aiden Prell, who will lead off the next inning for the Thunderbolts, also attends Dickinson. Pitch from Dre is way up and in.
I think that's what makes this league fun, is that guys can come in from the same school but go to different teams across the Cal Ripken League. So, you know, maybe when you're typically not used to seeing your teammate on the other side, it can very well happen.
3-0 pitch is a get-me-over fastball that lands in there for a called strike one. DC Gray is still scoreless on the day in this exhibition matchup. Thunderbolts lead DC by a score of 2-0 here on this Sunday night. Dre's fastball is fouled straight off home plate, and Christian Dre has done well to work the count full after falling behind 3-0. Full count. Bases are empty with nobody out in the top of the third inning. Dre deals. And to hit him. Just glanced off the jersey of Freeman Hunt. And it would have been ball four anyway, but a little bit more painful for Hunt, who will be on first base regardless. It'll send up Travis Church, one of a couple catchers on this roster for the DC Grays. He's a freshman who will play at Marist University for the first time in the spring. From Wayne, Pennsylvania, standing at just 5'8". Runner on, and Dre's first pitch hits him again. Already a third hit by pitch by Thunderbolts pitching today. Christian Dre hits back-to-back to start his outing, and that time it's worn off of the shoulder of Travis Church, who, to his credit, takes it nicely and is able to get down to first. Couple of runners on now. On second base is Freeman Hunt. On first is Travis Church. For the hitter, Benny Bakar, the sophomore from Avon Park, Florida, who attends Southern University, one of a crop of Southern University Jaguars on this DC Grays team. Bakar, the shortstop today for the Grays, hitting from the left side. Dre checks Hunt, deals. Called strike one. Pitch that he needed after seeing his last two hit off the bodies of the DC Grays. First and second, the runners for the Grays, trying to establish themselves in this league after a below 500 season last year. At the moment, they're chasing two with a 2-0 Thunderbolts lead. Nice hammer breaking ball from Dre that lands right down the middle.
So far, the look we're getting from Christian Dre is that the stuff is really good, but you just got to get it in the zone a little bit more. And we see that a lot with pitchers that come into this league, but that's why they're here. They're here to develop the stuff.
Called strike three. Christian Dre sits down Benny Bakar on 3 straight pitches. And it's good to see Dre work back in. He's able to fend off the mental attacks from a couple of HBPs. And now he's got one out. Ground ball can get him out of the inning with a force in effect at third, second, and first. Finn Boyle will bat, the freshman from Washington, D.C., our nation's capital, just down the road to our southwest. Dre's first pitch is a fastball low. Boyle will play at Rhode Island College next fall. One gone in the top of the third. 2-0 Thunderbolts have the lead in this exhibition matchup. Both teams just circling through their offensive additions this afternoon in this exhibition. Neither team batting the traditional 9. Dre's hammer is in there for a called strike. Like you mentioned, Patrick, the stuff from Dre, obviously very good. He had a solid year at Richmond. Had a couple of rough outings, and they were both against the Maryland Terrapins. Gave up 10 earned runs combined over those 2 appearances. Otherwise, he was very good as his curveball misses downstairs. Only gave up 11 earned runs on the year and over about 9 2/3 innings, but 10 of those came in his 3 innings of work combined against Maryland.
Yeah, I mean, Christian Dre, another big body on the mound, 6'5", 190. He's listed on the roster, so imagine if he could get a little bit stronger, maybe fill out the frame a little bit more. The stuff is already looking like this, and if he could add a little bit more strength, that could be huge for his development.
3-1 count. Christian Dre trying to escape some trouble after he hits the first 2 batters in his outing. Now a hitter's count against Finn Boyle. Dre will spin and throw lazily over to second, where it's gloved by David Vazzo and just sent right back to Dre.
You can see Freeman Hunt making some noise on the base paths, kind of disrupting the timing of Christian Dre a little bit, and obviously tough to see for the big right-hander on the mound, considering that the runner on second is behind him.
3-1 pitch. Catches the outer third. A nice frame job from Mason Kelleher. Steals a strike there for his pitcher, Dre. And the count's full now.
He's still on a couple strikes for Christian Dre. I mean, that pitch to Benny Bakar Jr. looked like it might have been a little bit outside, but presented it well and catching some corners. That is what catchers get paid to do, or maybe not so much anymore with ABS.
Payoff pitch misses outside, and Christian Dre will load the bases on a couple of hit-by-pitches, and then the walk there to Finn
Now
Boyle.
batting, number 27, Parker Shinman.
With Parker Shenman about to step in for the Grays, T-Bolts will take a quick pitching visit. Just talk things over with Christian Dre. Dre, I mean, he'll be listed as a sophomore on the programs and in the website, but that means he just finished up his freshman year, and there's not much time separating him from that first taste of college baseball. And for him playing in a wood bat league, it's just a little bit of a different atmosphere. Trying to settle in here in this exhibition, and that's why you play these games too. T-Bolts have used a different pitcher in every inning so far, and just trying to get them comfortable with the situation, get them comfortable with the mound here at Blair, and get them understanding what the talent level is, you know, what the hitters' tendencies are, just an early taste of Ripken League ball.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the hitters can get used to working with the wood bats for a 2-month stretch, and then the pitchers can work on attacking the hitters a little bit differently, right? Because all of these guys are collegiate athletes, and they're used to using these aluminum bats. So on the pitching side, you can really think about it differently, as the hitter is weaker than what I'm normally used to. You know, he's not used to working with the wood bat, stuff like that. So, you know, pitchers are a little bit more encouraged to go after hitters in the Cal Ripken League.
With the mound visit over and the bases now loaded, Christian Dre will stand in to face Parker Shenman. Just finished up his freshman year at Catholic University down in D.C. First pitch is an off-speed that almost hits him. Dre has already hit 2 batters in his outing.
And another note on that mound meeting from Brock Hunter, it's so unique what he can do as a coach, and the fact that he's able to manage this team as well as be a pitching coach. You don't typically see that a ton, but the fact that he's able to maneuver both sides and control the whole team while working with these pitchers at the same time, I think it's really cool, and that's what makes him a great coach.
Called strike there against Parker Shenman. In his career at Catholic so far, just his first year there, only had 1 RBI to his name, but he's looking to bring across a couple of DC Grays with the bases loaded and just 1 out. Off-speed misses upstairs, and in a 2-1 count, Christian Dre is going to just try and battle back here. He had the strikeout of Benny Bakar after he let the first 2 reach in this 3rd inning, but since then has kind of fallen back into his struggles of finding the zone. The 2-1. Fastball low and away. Hitters count still against Parker Shenman. A lot of outcomes for the Grays will bring across a run and break the shutout that the T-Bolts have going through 2 1/3. A walk does it, and that could happen on this next pitch, as well as a multitude of batted balls. Dre trying to prevent it, or at least limit it. The 3-1 is fouled off towards the T-Bolts dugout and over it. Full count now. And still with a runner on first and the force in effect, a ground ball can and has had the opportunity to get Christian Dre out of the inning. A couple of sure-handed middle infielders up the middle with Jonah Acosta at short and David Vazzo at second. Have to imagine that's what Dre's looking for here. Don't have to worry too much about the runners on second and third if you get a ground ball. Vazzo flashes into second, now backs off. The payoff misses upstairs, and Christian Dre will walk in the first run of the day for the DC Grays.
And you think about what an arm like Christian Dre is aiming to do on the mound. You know, we want him to get that double play ball up the middle or over to third base or however he's going to get it, but that's not really the prototype that he is. We're seeing the stuff on display, even in this exhibition game, and his goal is to clearly strike you out. So there is a double-edged sword there. You know, it's great to get strikeouts. You need those in bases-loaded situations, but at the same time, you also got to be able to roll it up, get a double play.
Falls in front of Pegues out in right field. He tries to go to second, but it skips past Acosta, and Camacho, that third, is there to back it up. But it's a single for Keegan McGraw, the sophomore from Chatham University, and he ties this game up at 2 with just a shallow little floater towards the right side that Pegues can't quite get to. And the base is still loaded now with just the 1 out. Grays have played it a couple now in this frame, and the threat not over, not yet at least. And Christian Dre just trying his best to keep it where it is, just try to limit the damage to the 2 that he has already surrendered.
Seemed like Pegues kind of lost it in the sun a little bit out there. I mean, can't really blame him for that. I'm not sure where the sun is exactly located, but it is a very sunny outfield. And, you know, maybe a little bit of a misread, not entirely sure. But regardless, still good that he was able to keep it in front of him. And, you know, all the runners do is move station to station.
Ethan Fox Fernandez will be the hitter, freshman from DC who will play next year at Vassar. Fox Fernandez will bat from the right side, and 5'8", 200 pounds, takes the first pitch, and it misses outside from Christian Dre. Bases loaded, 1 out, tied up at 2 in this exhibition matchup on this Sunday evening, the last day of May, before the season will really get in full swing. But for now, these teams just getting their first taste of the 2026 affair. Dre deals. Slider that misses high and in. 2-0 the count. Fox Fernandez, he'll be the 7th hitter that the DC Grays have brought to the plate in this inning. 15th of the game so far for the Grays, and they have not gotten back to the top of their order. Fastball upstairs. 3 balls, no strikes. Just 1 out. Christian Dre, the 3rd arm of the day for the T-Bolts, has had a bit of a rocky start, but as we've said, a ground ball can be the cure-all. Just get a ball on the ground and let your infielders do the rest. He'll look for it here. The 3-0. Taken all the way, and it's a called strike. Catching the high and out corner of the strike zone. Another nice framing job from Mason Kelleher behind the plate. 3-1 count against Ethan Fox Fernandez. Tie ball game, both teams with 2 here in the top of the 3rd. Pitch. Swung on and missed. A much needed strikeout for Christian Dre. I don't know if Kelleher actually gloved it, so it will stay where it is. Unfortunately, Kelleher couldn't hold on to that one, and so we'll keep it at a full count. Still with 1 out, still with the bases loaded, and still tied up at 2.
And with the lively stuff that Christian Dre has, you really see it right there, what it looks like when it's at least around the zone, and how he's just able to blow it by hitters.
Payoff off the hands, and Dre has no play elsewhere but at first. He comes off the rubber and moving to his left, he makes a nice play. But a run does come across. It's the 3rd of the inning for DC. They've now taken the lead after Silver Spring Tacoma plated 2 in the 2nd. DC has come back and plated 3 here in the 3rd. Bases loaded, no more. First time in quite a while that Dre has been able to say that. And with 2 outs now, he'll face off against another DC Grays hitter that is not a part of the top of the order, Joey Chitla, the sophomore from William & Mary.
I think in that situation, the Thunderbolts are happy to trade a run for an out, and you know, kind of minimizing damage in a situation like that is good to see.
First pitch is a called strike. Again, Kelleher framing it nicely on the outer 3rd. A 1 count, 2 outs. 2 aboard for the DC Grays in the top of the 3rd inning. Dre deals. Strike 2. A couple of called strikes against the hitter Joey Chitla. And Dre now 1 pitch away from escaping this inning. DC searching for more after they've tied and taken the lead all in this 3rd inning. And Christian Dre and the T-Bolts trying to get out of it. The 0-2 rides inside. Ball one against the hitter Joey Chitla, sophomore originally from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Still 2 runners on. Parker Shenman is at third base. Keegan McGraw stands on second. Both of them have taken their leads relatively modestly. Here's the 1-2. Grounded right side. Cudney eats him up on the backhand, but Vazo's there to back it up. Can he get the play at first? Yes, he can. Christian Dre gets out of it with a little help from his friends. David Vazo with some nice backup work to get the third out in the inning, but the damage is done regardless. DC plates 3 in the third. We'll head to the bottom half in a 3-2 ball game. Grays in front on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network. Bottom of the third here at Blair. First pitch to Aiden Prell is a called strike. New arm for the DC Grays. Casey Edwards will end his day. Remember, that second inning didn't really come to an end via the traditional 3 outs. It just kind of ended just to keep the players fresh, and no reason to wear anyone out in this exhibition matchup. But Casey Edwards is done. Caden Brown now pitching for the DC Grays, who now lead at 3-2. Righty-lefty matchup with Prell, who skies at left side. Freeman Hunt ranges towards the line. He looks up against the sun, and he makes the grab a step inside the foul line. So there's one gone now in the third. It appears to be Jackson Stallworth out there at left, so DC Grays have shuffled up their defense. Just like many of other things in this game, we're just trying to work through it with you guys. We appreciate everyone tuning in with us on this Sunday night. Peter Kelly, Patrick Moran with you here in the bottom of the third in a 3-2 game in favor of the Grays. Rip left side and foul. This one off the bat of Joey King. King from St. Olaf College. Kind of a Swiss Army knife, can play infield and outfield, but played mostly in the infield at St. Olaf College in Northfield, Minnesota, about 40 minutes south of the Twin Cities. Slider from Caden Brown misses outside. Brown from Southern University. One of 4 DC Grays from Southern University. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Joey King goes fishing on a pitch down in the dirt. And a nice off-speed from Caden Brown makes it a 1-2 count. Sun starting to set here in Montgomery County, and the shadows starting to get a little bit longer here in this exhibition matchup in late May. Brown breathes deep, Deals the 1-2. It's fouled back over the netting. Joey King stays alive. King wrapped up his freshman year at St. Olaf College, but he attended Winston Churchill High School in Potomac, about 11 miles northwest of here. Takes the 1-2 down in the dirt. Two balls, two strikes with one out, and the base is empty. Here in the bottom of the third, on Peter Kelly, he's Patrick Moran. Brown deals 2-2. It's a called strike 3. Joey King watches a pitch on the outer third, and a nicely placed fastball from Caden Brown means there are 2 gone now, and a clean first 2 batters for the new arm for the Grays. With 2 outs and the base is empty, Matthew Kim will stand in, batting from the right side. First pitch to him is taken for a strike on the outer third. Good to see Matthew Kim back with the Thunderbolts. Last year he hit .268 in his 18 games. That was good for 5th on the team. Also had an OBP around .350 with 11 RBIs, which was good for 2nd on the Thunderbolts roster. Called strike 2, and already Kim has seen a couple of strikes go by him. Caden Brown, the new pitcher for the DC Grays, wheeling and dealing so far.
Yeah, Matthew Kim is just a really solid player to round out this roster. He came in mid-season about 2 years ago, I'm pretty sure, and can just play some great defense at second base, turn the lineup over really well, and obviously you got to love the no batting glove approach from him.
Over to short, and DC will end the bottom of the third with a nifty play from the shortstop. DC works through the third scoreless. They lead the Thunderbolts 3-2, and we'll head to the 4th inning right here in the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
Is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. COA aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and a person, both in the classroom, in competition, and anything in between. Let them help you and your student athlete. You can find COA Sports at coasports.org. COA, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts.
Here's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring serves up Chop House classics, fresh seafood, Chesapeake Bay oysters, and hyper-seasonal local produce. It has one of the best bars in downtown Silver Spring, serving craft cocktails, beer, and wine. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring. A proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking.
Number 7,
Top of the 4th inning now at Blair. New pitcher for the Thunderbolts is Josh Erd from East Stroudsburg University, although he will take over now as the 4th arm of the day, and he will face off against this DC Grays team that leads the Thunderbolts by a score of 3-2. First hitter for the DC Grays. The 4th is Andrew Boganski. Again, I'm Peter Kelly. Alongside me now, Sam Bergstrom. Sam, good to have you on as the first pitch from Erd misses inside against Boganski.
Pleasure to be here, Peter. It's a beautiful day for some baseball here in Silver Spring.
Good to get our first look at this 2026 Thunderbolts team. The 1-0. Misses upstairs. Count goes 2-0 against Boganski, who will play next year at Marist University. Freshman, just graduated high school. He's from Orland, Pennsylvania. Fastball misses high. Josh Erd is in a 3-0 count to his first hitter. We saw last inning Christian Dre struggled with the command. Eventually 3 DC Grays came across. The 3-0. Taken high and in for ball 4.
Now, Peter, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but Erd in his first 2 seasons with the Thunderbolts was primarily a hitter, but has just recently converted to a primary pitcher. So it'll be interesting to see how he makes that adjustment this season for the T-Bolts.
Yeah, Erd, one of a couple of Thunderbolts playing a new position this year. 4-pitch walk against the hitter Boganski. He will now face off with Connor Lawrence. First pitch to Lawrence is chopped right side. Ranging over and making the play is Aiden Prell, the new second baseman. He only had a play at first because it was hit so weakly he could not think about the double play. But Aiden Prell tested for the first time at second base and makes a smooth throw over to Cutney for the first down.
Now batting, number 10.
You got to say, the T-Bolts have been looking quite smooth here in the infield. We mentioned before there was that spectacular play made by David Vazzo, which knocked off the glove of Cutley. And he was able to flip it over for the final out in the top of the 3rd.
First pitch from Erd misses inside. One out, runner on second now. 3-2 Grays lead. Erd deals, and it's a called strike right down the heart of the plate. Runner on second is Boganski after a 4-pitch walk from Erd to open his day. 1-1 the count now. Erd gives Boganski a look. Looks at him once more, now fires. Swung on and missed. Heavy swing there from the hitter, Caden Brown, who just came in the pitch. And Brown, who worked a nice bottom of the 3rd, will now hit from the right side. And he's got a 1-2 count against him. Josh Erd. He's worked quickly. He will do so once more. Brown reaches out and taps it foul. Caden Brown had to just flip the bat head out there and almost had a play at it. Did seem like Kai Schmelzer sprang out from his position very quickly and tried to tag him, but to no avail. Count stays where it is, though, at 1-2. Aiden Prell pounds his miss at second. Erd deals. Slider kicks away from Schmelzer. Boganski will get to 3rd, and that's where he'll stop.
Now, Peter, I had the pleasure of visiting the Thunderbolts practice yesterday. I got to actually talk with Erd. He said one of his favorite aspects of being with the Thunderbolts is being so close to home. The Rockville native is able to have family visit him and watch him perform on the mound this season.
Trying to perform right here with a 2-2 count. Runner on 3rd. Infield now in. It's grounded towards short. Acosta on the backhand. Checks the runner. Now goes to 1st. He pulls Cutney off the bag. But a nice job from Cutney to slap down the tag on the runner. And Brown is retired. 2 outs now. Josh Erd doing a good job there of getting the ball on the ground and helped out nicely by his teammates. Acosta and Cutney on both ends with a nice play for the second out.
Absolutely. We mentioned before in the top of the 3rd, Cutney had a little chopper that came off the glove but made up for it there with a nice snag and a tag of Brown.
First pitch to Ford, kicks away from Schmelzer. And Boganski's going to charge home. Walked on 4 pitches, then advanced to second on a ground out and moved to 3rd and home on wild pitches. So not the prettiest trip around the bases for Andrew Boganski, but he plates the 4th run of the day for the DC Grays. And it's a now 2-run lead after Erd's wild pitch kicks away.
Doesn't matter about the route you take. Sometimes it's just a matter of getting home.
Erd's next pitch misses outside. So finally, DC will loop the lineup. They brought, let me count it up right here, 19 to the plate before getting back to the top of the order. Pitch downstairs and Schmelzer with a nice pick. Peyton Ford did lead off this game way back in the top of the 1st, where he popped out on a soft liner to the second baseman David Vazzo. He's no longer in. Aiden Prell is, and he's now at second. 2-0 count. Erd deals upstairs, and I guess the count was 3-0 because now Peyton Ford will walk his way to first. A couple of 4-pitch walks in the frame for Josh Erd, but everything else has been pretty solid. And now with 2 outs and a runner aboard, he'll try to get out of it against Evan Rosario. He singled in the infield on the right side back in his first at-bat. Erd checks on Ford, now fires. Fastball lands on the outer third for a called strike. Erd loses the hat, but he gets the call. You noted, Sam, that Erd is a Rockville native, and he's excited about being kind of home for the summer, just about 10 miles away from his home in Rockville. Doing the catching is Kai Schmelzer, also from Rockville, and they attended the same high school, Thomas S. Wooten, down in Rockville, and Schmelzer just graduated while Josh Erd, part of the class of 2023. They would have had 1 year of overlap when Erd was a senior and Schmelzer was a freshman. They're now reunited here at Blair. And with an 0-2 count and 2 outs, Erd trying to get out of the inning. It's looked towards the right side. Pagis is there. He's battling in the sun, but he's got it in his left hand for out number 3. Josh Erd lets Andrew Boganski get around the bases for the 4th run for the Grays, but he gets out of it nicely and keeps the lead at 2. We'll head to the bottom half of the 4th on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. SkyPoint believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether opening your first account or planning for your future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring. More at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma. The AFI Silver Theater and Cultural Center in downtown Silver Spring presents the best in American and world cinema. They show classic American mysteries from the black and white era, as well as the most modern digital content from around the world. The AFI Silver Theater also features filmmaker interviews, panel discussions, musical performances, and more. The AFI Silver Theater at 8633 Colesville Road in Silver Spring is a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. Dan Metcalf has long been a
Bottom of the 4th inning here in Montgomery County at Blair Baseball Stadium alongside Sam Bergstrom. I'm Peter Kelly. So glad you're with us on this Sunday evening. It'll be the 3rd pitcher of the game for the DC Grays, who lead the Thunderbolts by a score of 4-2. And in the bottom of the 4th, Chris Fortunato will take over. He just finished up his junior year at Stevenson University, a Division III school in Owings Mills, Maryland. And he had a really nice year. 47 1/3 innings, pitched to a 4.75 ERA, was named MAC Commonwealth Honorable Mention. 13 games, 9 of them starts, and now Fortunato will step in as the 3rd pitcher of the day for the Grays, and he'll face off against the T-Bolts order now in his 2nd time through. It'll be 1-2-3 for Silver Spring, Jonah Acosta, and Caleb Sturdivant, and Gabe Pagis.
If you remember back in the bottom of the 1st, Acosta worked a 5-pitch walk. Had a really nice approach. Did not swing at anything he didn't like. We'll see how he attacks Fortunato here.
We'll see if Acosta can reach base again against Fortunato. And first pitch from Fortunato misses outside. Thunderbolts chasing 2. They got both their runs back in the 2nd inning. But DC put across 3 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. And that's how we got where we got. The 1-0 popped up foul on the 3rd base side. It'll get out of play and into the road behind us. Count even now at 1-1.
Acosta, another guy I was able to talk to yesterday, him and his teammate Sam Camacho actually played against each other in Miami, Florida. Now they're on the same team.
Yeah, Acosta attended Miami Killian High School in the greater Miami area, and Sam Camacho attended Miami Springs. Two certainly familiar with each other, and they're both on the left side of the Thunderbolt infield today. The 1-1 skips away. and it's ball 2 for Fortunato. Acosta through 1 year now at North Florida.
And Acosta told me he will actually be hitting the transfer portal this summer. See a lot of guys in college baseball doing that recently.
Acosta will be on the move, and the 2-1 pitch is lined back up the middle and through. Schools might want to take a look at that swing as Acosta pokes it back up the box. Just past the outstretched glove of the shortstop, and he's aboard as a leadoff base runner for the Thunderbolts here in the 4th.
Now batting, number 4, Caleb Sturdivant.
Really good approach again from Jonah Acosta. He has now reached in both plate appearances. Walked back in the 1st and now singles to center here in the 4th. Caleb Sturdivant now, the Thunderbolt center fielder, batting from the right side, who flew out to the right fielder in his first time up. Fortunato's first pitch to Sturdivant is a called strike at the very bottom of the strike zone. Pitch. Grounded towards second. Flip to short for 1. Back over to first. Sturdivant beats it out. Caleb Sturdivant ran hard the whole way. Knew he had a chance to beat that one out, and it'll go down as a fielder's choice in the book.
Now batting,
4 to 6 will be the ruling, but Sturdivant will replace the runner at first. He will be there instead of Acosta. And now Pegues will step in. Gabe Pegues, who walked back in his first time up. One out, runner on first for the Thunderbolts, chasing 2. First pitch off speed from Fortunato, misses inside. Fortunato with starting experience over at Stevenson, but comes out of the bullpen today. And the right-hander taps his front foot a couple times, looks up, looks down, now deals. Right down the middle for a strike. Runner is off, and Sturdivant slides in safely as the throw skips past and into center field. Second baseman now for the DC Grays is Connor Lawrence, and back at shortstop is Benny Bakar. Just trying to keep pace here as both these teams cycle through their fielders and cycle through their order in this exhibition matchup. Just trying to see what they have, and right now the Thunderbolts have a runner on second with 1 out and a tying run at the plate. Fortunato checks him out, deals to Pegues, and it's in the dirt, but blocked nicely. Nice block from Ethan Fox Fernandez.
And Pegues in his freshman season at Lynchburg, bit of a small sample size, only started 10 games, but had an OPS over 1,000 and batted well over 300. It'll be interesting to see if he can keep that high volume production up at the plate this season for the T-Bolts.
The 2-1. Pegues takes right down Broadway for strike number 2. Gabriel Pegues attended McLean High School, about 40 minutes away, right across the Potomac to our southwest, and one of a handful of Thunderbolts that attended McLean. Also Christian Dre, who pitched back in the 3rd inning for the T-Bolts. 2-2 count, 1 out, runner on second. Pitch from Fortunato. Catches the zone for a called strike 3. Pegues leans back and is frozen on the off speed.
Now batting, number 14, Nolan Cutney.
Now Nolan Cutney back up for the second time today. Lined out to the second baseman, his first trip to the plate. With 2 outs and a runner on second, he'll stand in this righty-righty matchup and awaits the first pitch from Fortunato. Here it is. Lined right back towards second, but this time it gets into center. Rounding third is Sturdivant. He's coming to the plate and he will be in standing. Nolan Cutney brings the T-Bolts 1 run closer. It's now 4-3. DC still with the lead, but Nolan Cutney brings home Sturdivant. And they get a run against Chris Fortunato to get the T-Bolts right back in this game.
Now batting, number 6, David Vazo.
David Vazo now stands in. second baseman today for the T-Bolts, waggles his pale blue bat and takes a pitch outside for a ball. Nolan Cutney now on first after his 2-out single to bring home Sturdivant. 4-3 ball game. Grays the visitor in front of the T-Bolts by a score of 4-3.
And Fortunato, he seemed to have pretty good command thus far. It just seems like the T-Bolts bats have been far more productive in this inning.
The 1-0 is taken high and in by David Vazo. Vazo from Moravian College. Just finished up his sophomore season and played last year with the Thunderbolts. Hit .250 in 18 games. That was good for 6th on the team. Also walked 12 times and drove in 8. The 2-0 pitch. Taken outside. Vazo gets on base. Unlike any other at Moravian, this year with Moravian, he walked 22 times and struck out just 18. That's a big drop from his 2025 season where he struck out 48 times, but reduces that number by 30 in his second year with Moravian. The 3-0 pitch is taken all the way, and it's a strike that catches the outer third.
And Peter, yesterday at practice, Vazo was piecing hits all across the field during the Thunderbolts scrimmage. Clearly is ready for this 2026 campaign.
Excited to see what Vazo has in store in his second year in Silver Spring. 3-1 count against Chris Fortunato. Vazo waits and swings and misses. Count full back, pick to first. Cutney gets back in safely. Ethan Fox Fernandez, the new DC Grays catcher, trying to catch Cutney napping. But instead, the count goes full. Vazo swings and misses. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Cutney's on first. Thunderbolts down by 1. Vazo trying to tie this game up. Fortunato's ready. The payoff. Swung on and missed. Vazo comes up empty and Fortunato escapes, but he does surrender 1. T-Bolts get 1 back after DC had 1 in the top half. Thunderbolts get 1 in the bottom half. It's now 4-3, Grays still in front. We'll take it to the 5th right here on the DC Grays Silver Spring Thunderbolts.
Supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Now he's at a new location, the Finn Family Group of Perennial Real Estate. If you want to find that perfect home in the perfect community, the Finn Family Group is for you. The Finn Family Group believes in community, and they bring that sense of community when working with clients to find homes in the Silver Spring Tacoma Park area. Call them today at 301-450-6999. That's 301-450-6999. The Finn Family Group, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park helps people turn their dreams into their new forever home. Whether it's a renovation, addition, or a new home, Ben will assist you in picking colors and finishes. He'll explain building codes, zoning requirements, and materials that stress energy efficiency. Ben Norkin of Ben Norkin Architecture at 7204 Trescott Avenue in Tacoma Park, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma. Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, Suite 115 in Silver Spring is your premier in-home pet care service. From dog walks, cat care, overnight stays, pet sitting, to medication administration, Fetch Pet Care provides services tailored to meet your pet's individual needs. Fetch Pet Care at 10111 Colesville Road, Suite 115 in Silver Spring. A proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring is the
Heading to the top half of the 5th here at Montgomery Blair. DC Grays in front of the Thunderbolts 4-3. Here on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network, I'm Peter Kelly. Alongside me, Sam Bergstrom. We'll get our second look now at 3-4-5 in the Grays lineup, and we'll also get our second look at Josh Erd, who becomes the first Thunderbolt pitcher to go past 1 inning in this exhibition matchup. Grays with a 1-run lead here in this 5th inning. Evan Wilson, who was hit by a pitch in his first time up, stands in the lefty batter's box. Erd's first pitch is a fastball that skips in for ball 1.
And when I spoke with Erd, Peter, he really harped on how immaculate the vibrations are this year. He said the cultures, the coaches, all the boys, it's a family here. And that's what you got to love about this type of summer ball. Guys coming in from all different locations, playing the game they love.
Oops, don't know what happened there for Josh Erd, but hopefully he's okay after failing to complete that motion. It's certainly encouraging to hear, Sam, that these players are high on this season. Last year, a season that was kind of herky-jerky, a lot of rainouts, a lot of cancellations, and Thunderbolts ended at 5 games under 500. They didn't get to the 40-game threshold that we're used to seeing, but it is encouraging to see guys like Josh Erd who are coming back because they loved it here in Silver Spring, and they want to make this club better than they found it. Josh Erd misses inside with a fastball against Evan Wilson. It's cool to have you on the team as a writer because you get to talk with these guys and kind of get the inside scoop about what they're feeling, especially someone like Josh Erd, who's been around so many facets of college baseball and now is here with the Thunderbolts for his 2nd year as he walks Evan Wilson on 5 pitches.
Now batting number 5, Ryan Stoddard.
Ryan Stoddard now steps up. Cleanup hitter for the DC Grays, struck out swinging back in the 1st, back when the T-Bolts pitcher was Jacob Seek. Stoddard from Lafayette College will play his baseball there next spring. Pitch from Erd goes behind the hitter Stoddard and gets all the way to the backstop as Evan Wilson will take the extra 90. He's now on 2nd with nobody out. DC looking to add on to this lead. They put 3 across in the 3rd inning, 1 in the 4th, and now in the 5th have a runner in scoring position with nobody out. Pitch is high and out. 2-0 the count from Josh Erd against the hitter Ryan Stoddard. Erd gives Wilson a look, fires. On 1 hop to 2nd. Prell over to 1st, and there's 1 out here in the 5th. It does advance Evan Wilson over to 3rd. A productive out from Ryan Stoddard. And now fly ball will score Evan Wilson and make the Grays lead 2. Drew Rubinski's going to be the guy to try and do it. He's got some big-time power. He's going to look to elevate this one with the outfield at standard depth. First pitch from Josh Erd is taken right down the middle for a called strike 1 against Rybinski, who struck out swinging in his first trip to the plate.
And Erd, in his first 2 seasons with the Thunderbolts, was not necessarily a bad hitter. He knocked in 22 runs, had a great eye, had an OBP of 404, drew 41 walks. But at East Stroudsburg, they decided to convert him over to a pitcher. And he's certainly finding some command here in this top of the 5th.
1-1 the count against Drew Rubinski. Pitch from Erd. Swung on and missed. He gets Rubinski to climb the ladder. Count now with 2 strikes. 1 ball and 2 strikes against Rubinski. East Stroudsburg, a really good D2 program as well. So it would certainly mean something if they had the confidence to convert him to pitcher and give him some time. The 1-2 misses high. Rubinski doesn't bite that time. Count even now at 2-2. 1 out with a runner on 3rd base. That's Evan Wilson after he walked to start the inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Erd against Rubinski. Erd pitches. Fastball high. Just misses above the zone. Schmelzer couldn't bring it down. And the count's full. The payoff. Misses inside. Almost got the hands of Drew Rubinski. He'll slide on down to 1st. Evan Wilson will stay where he is at 3rd. And with the Grays, with runners on the corners, T-Bolts will take another mound visit here. Josh Erd threw an inning and a 3rd. Worked a 1-run inning last time he came out, and this time has a couple runners aboard. Xavier Bradley going to step to the plate, who struck out in his first time up.
And Peter, you mentioned Erd coming from East Stroudsburg, a D2 institution. This Thunderbolts team, they have talent ranging from a wide variety of competition. 8 players coming from D1 schools, 9 at the D2 level, 11 at D3, and 8 coming from community college. I asked Brock Hunter about this aspect, if it's going to be beneficial to have guys coming from different levels of competition. And he said it's especially beneficial for the D2 and D3 guys, because if the hitters can have success against D1 arms, you can hit anyone against the D2 and D3 level.
It's part of what makes this league so fun, is that there's really no discrimination about what level you played at previously. Erd's first pitch to Bradley catches the outer third for a called strike. You see sometimes leagues like the Cape where you're almost not invited or blacklisted if you're Division 1 or not Division 1, I should say. And not necessarily the case here. You've got guys from a whole range of conferences, levels, experiences, age ranges. It's really fun to see these guys all get on the same field. 0-2 the count quickly against Xavier Bradley, who had a backwards K in the book in his first trip to the plate. Struck out looking against Braden Featheroff in the second. Xavier Bradley from Southern University, one of 4 Grays from that institution. Runners in the corners, the 0-2 is a slider that misses just inside. Some of the fans here protesting wanted to see that call go Josh Erd's way, but it did not. And instead the count stays 1 ball and 2 strikes. 4-3 Grays lead here in the top of the 5th in this exhibition matchup. The 1-2, Erd loses the hat and misses high.
Coach Hunter especially pointed out that that when Takoma visits Bethesda and plays the big train, some of those guys, they're in the ACC and SEC. It's good competition, Peter. Really beneficial for some of these guys to see some of these pitches with big arms.
We'll see a pitch from Erd here, and it misses high. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count. Good you brought that up. Thunderbolts will take on the Bethesda Big Train in a couple of days on June 2nd to start off officially their regular season campaign. 1 of 8 times that the T-Bolts will face the Big Train. Full count pitch is fouled into the dugout of the DC Grays on the third base side. Count stays where it is. Credit to Xavier Bradley, the hitter now for the Grays. He was down 0-2, but has now worked the count full. And everything else is just gravy. Runners in the corners. Raminsky at first, Wilson at third. Erd, the payoff. Got him swinging on the slider. Second K of the day for Xavier Bradley, and Josh Erd now an out away from getting out of a scoreless frame.
Now batting number 20, Aaron Roll.
Mentioned gravy. Erd brought the whole feast with that pitch.
Lands that slider in beautifully. It dives below the wooden bat of Xavier Bradley. And there are 2 gone. First pitch to Aaron Roll was fouled straight back. Aaron Roll will play next year at Pensacola State College, as well as the man on deck, Jackson Stallworth. Both will start their freshman years at Pensacola State in the fall. 0-1 misses inside. Erd has been have a bit of traffic in this inning. Walked Wilson to lead things off on not very many pitches. Pitch outside, Schmelzer throws back to first, and Raminsky's in diving. 2 balls, 1 strike. Josh Erd looking to clean things up and get out of the inning. Keep the lead where it is for the DC Grays, which is 1. 4-3 your score in this exhibition matchup on this beautiful Sunday evening. Erd deals, it's a pitch high. Hitters count against Aaron Roll. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Erd trying to avoid another free pass. The 3-1. Grounded through the left side, just past the glove of Camacho. Evan Wilson will come in from third, and Raminsky will go first to second, as Aaron Roll puts the Grays in front by 2 once more. It's now 5-3 DC.
Number 32, Jackson Stallworth.
It'll be Jackson Stallworth now to face off against Josh Erd. His first pitch is grounded over towards the first base side. And making the play is Joey King to retire the side. But not before DC gets one more. They've scored in 3 straight innings. They lead the T-Bolts by 2 again. Thunderbolts trying to get that run back and more in the bottom of the 5th right here on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring is the best chicken in the world because it uses peri peri sauce. From chicken on the bone to wraps and sandwiches, along with salads and veggie options, Nando's is your choice for great food. Nando's Peri Peri Chicken on 924 Ellsworth Drive in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring. Parkview Capital believes your financial strategy should reflect more than numbers. It should reflect you. As a trusted investment advisory firm, Parkview Capital partners with individuals and families to build and protect wealth. Parkview Capital personalizes strategies rooted in your values and long-term goals. Whether you're growing your portfolio or preserving a legacy, Parkview Capital crafts a clear, customized path to your financial future, one that evolves with you. Parkview Capital, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Tacoma Park,
And Kelleher.
Back with you at Blair Baseball Stadium for the bottom of the 5th inning in this exhibition matchup between the DC Grays and the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. Grays advantage right now. They lead at 5-3 here in the bottom of the 5th. But the T-Bolts scored 1 in the last inning and now trying to add on. First pitch is a called strike. Fortunato back out there for the Grays. He'll face off against the hitter Mason Kelleher, catcher out of Frostburg State for the T-Bolts. The 0-1 pitch from Fortunato is a changeup that flutters inside. Count even now at 1-1. So glad you could join us on this Sunday night as the Thunderbolts kick off their season, though unofficially. But we are officially happy to be here with you. I'm Peter Kelly. Alongside me, Sam Bergstrom. So grateful that you've tuned in for this one. The 1-1 misses high. And with the count at 2-1, Kelleher will step back in. He's alternated the catching duties this game with Kai Schmelzer. They've basically just taken every other inning. The 2-1 pitch got him swinging on a slider in the dirt. Kelleher can't hold up on the enticing off-speed. Count even once more, and Fortunato a pitch away from retiring Kelleher.
And Kelleher worked a 4-pitch walk back in the bottom of the 2nd. Seems to have already fallen behind here with 2 strikes to his name.
Fortunato is ready. Deals the righty-righty 2-2. It's an off-speed that misses indoors. Count full now. 3 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here in the bottom of the 5th, and a 5-3 DC Grays lead. Fortunato trying to avoid having the leadoff man reach. His team holding a 2-run lead. 3-2, fouled straight back. Kelleher will see another day. Kelleher trying to turn things over to Samuel Camacho. He singled back in the 2nd inning where the Thunderbolts scored 2. 2 of their 3 runs came back in the 2nd when this part of the lineup came up. The full count again. It's hit well in the air to center. It'll chase Peyton Ford back, but not back enough, and he's got room to make the grab for the first out. A good at-bat from Mason Kelleher, but it ends with him getting just under a 3-2 fastball. And now with 1 out, Sam Camacho will step back up. The man from Clarion University up in Clarion, Pennsylvania, about a couple hours northeast-ish from Pittsburgh.
And Camacho, a huge Cubs fan, really grew up idolizing Javi Baez. It even tries to model his game after him.
First pitch to Camacho is laced back up the middle. Camacho with a little bit of flair on the bat flip, and he reaches first for the 2nd straight at bat. Couple of knocks on the day for the sophomore from Clarion. He's now on first with 1 out, and he sets the table for Trent Lopez.
Certainly looked like prime Javi Baez with that base hit, huh?
Yeah, it's an apt comparison. He got the hands out there quick and flicks the wood bat out there towards the center of the field. Another bonus of having a wood bat league is that they can feel a little bit more like those major leaguers.
Absolutely.
Trent Lopez now, the left fielder today for the T-Bolts. First pitch from Fortunato misses outside. Lopez just finished up his freshman year at Cornell, played his high school ball at Bethesda Chevy Chase. Not far from here at all, about 6 miles to our west. Fortunato will throw back and Camacho's in safely. Lopez is someone that I followed well in high school. Part of a Montgomery County division of public school baseball that is notorious for being one of the best, not just in the state of Maryland, but in the country. Really a hub for private or public school baseball. And Lopez really dominated that division as he pokes one foul. Trent Lopez had one of the best seasons in Montgomery County history in his senior year. He hit .569 with 16 extra base hits, 4 of them home runs, OPS over 1,700, and drove in 33, hitting near the top of the Barons order. Lopez is a guy that brings big-time power to this team, and we're happy to have him here in Silver Spring. The 1-1 pitch is ripped down the right center gap. Here's some of that power. It's going to fall between the outfielders and one hop the wall. Lopez rounding first, getting to second. Camacho's hustling for home. Lopez thinking 3. The throw is offline, and Trent Lopez is on the board in a T-Bolts uniform. It's an RBI triple, and the Thunderbolts are 1 run closer. 5-4 ball game.
And just as you were alluding to, Peter, guy's got big-time power, just absolutely rocketed one to right center and showed off the wheels, too. Not even slowing down one bit as he rounded second base.
That ball from Lopez absolutely crushed out towards right center. That's where a lot of his power comes. He had 4 home runs for Cornell this spring. That was tied for the team lead, a lot of them towards right center. Now it's Kai Schmelzer. Infield in, first pitch to Schmelzer, misses outside. Kai Schmelzer just graduated from Wooten High School up in Rockville. Not to be outdone by his teammate Trent Lopez, Schmelzer had a heck of a senior year himself. The 1-0 lands in there for a called strike. Schmelzer, a guy that really excelled over his first 3 years at Wooten, and then elected to graduate early in December of his senior year. He'll attend Gulf Coast State, a junior college down in Florida that's notorious for one of the best conferences in the country. Pitch misses high to Schmelzer. It's a 2-1 count.
At some point, you have to focus the camera. It looks like it doesn't look very good. All right, so it's a test. I know you want to do the game, but this is the setup for the regular season. So look at the image on YouTube. Play with the camera so that it looks much sharper.
Can I call you back over when this inning's over? And because I want to have you look at it. So
All right.
I don't know if I have the iPhone.
Where's Patrick? Oh, here he is.
Schmelzer draws a walk there on Chris Fortunato.
Now batting, number 38.
Puts runners on the corners. Lopez on third after his RBI triple, and Schmelzer now at first after the 5-pitch walk. Wade Hartrick, the batter for the T-Bolts. With 1 out, runners on the corners, he'll stand in from the right side and take a pitch down low for ball number 1.
And Hartrick's a guy who's been quite all over the country. Native of Boulder, Colorado, attends University of Chicago, and is now here in Silver Spring playing with the Thunderbolts. I asked him if it was a little bit taxing to travel that much as a ball player. He said he's loved everywhere he's been and has taken everything as a enriching learning experience.
Hartrick across the country takes a pitch outside, not solely because he's from Boulder, Colorado, or attends U Chicago. He also played in high school at IMG, which is down in Bradenton, Florida. So he's certainly bounced around in his baseball career. Finished up his freshman year at U Chicago, and the team did very well. Pitch from Fortunato is downstairs. 3-ball count against Wade Hartrick. The U Chicago Maroons had their best season in school history. Finished 30-15. It's the first team ever in Maroons history to win 30 games in a season. They won a regional at Washington and Jefferson before losing in the Super Regionals to Salisbury, who's the number 6 team in the country, currently at the D3 College World Series. 3-0 pitch is taken at the very top of the zone for strike 1.
And IMG, you know, there's a joke going around the sports community that's kind of just a college disguised as a high school. But I asked Hartrick about that, and he said it's not quite the same competition as college, but it definitely prepared him well for the University of Chicago as he draws a walk against Fortunato.
Chris Fortunato losing a little bit of his touch here in this inning. The base is now loaded after that 5-pitch walk to Wade Hartrick, the second free pass of the inning from Fortunato. It's a mound visit now, but after it, it'll be Aiden Prell to step back up. He flew out to left in his first at-bat.
Now batting, number 34, Aiden Prell.
With one out and the bases loaded, Aiden Prell will step into the left-handed batter's box. Base is now loaded. Trent Lopez on third, the lead runner, and represents the tying run in this exhibition matchup. First pitch from Fortunato to Prell is a called strike.
And if you remember in the bottom of the third, Prell flew out to left field against Caleb Brown, who really had a stellar inning. Went 1-2-3. That was back when the Grays led 3-2.
The 0-1, Prell comes up empty. And it's an early 0-2 hole. The mound visit must have done something to Fortunato's command. He walked the last two, but he's now got an 0-2 advantage against Aiden Prell. Thunderbolts chasing one. The go-ahead run on second base, that's Kai Schmelzer. 0-2 count with one out. Pitch to Prell. Inside, almost got the jersey. Prell dances out of the way, and the count goes 1-2. One ball, two strikes, one out. 5-4 Grays lead here in the bottom of the fifth. The pitch. Taken for a called strike three. Something happened there. Aiden Prell's a little bit confused. Maybe he thought time was granted or something, or heard someone say something. He was not ready for that pitch at all. And unfortunate timing for that strike to fall in the zone. But it is the second out regardless against the T-Bolts. And now it's Joey King who will stand in, trying to drive home the tying run. Bases loaded, 2 outs now for Joey King, who had a backwards K his first time up, and he takes a pitch on the outer third for strike one. T-Bolt started off the inning very well. Kelleher could not reach, but then Camacho singled, and Lopez a deep triple to right center to bring him home. The 0-1 to King is taken outside for Knox. Fox Fernandez slides to his right and gloves it to keep it in front. Chris Fortunato for DC just needs one out to get out of this inning and preserve this Grays lead. In the stretch, he's ready. Breathes deep, deals. High and in, and it gets by. It's going to get to the backstop, and Trent Lopez will coast home and score the tying run. We are knotted up at 5 here in the bottom of the fifth. A pitch that gets away from the catcher, Fox Fernandez, allows Trent Lopez to come home and score. And we're back level here at Montgomery Blair. Inning not over either. T-Bolts still have a chance to perhaps grab the lead for the first time since the second. They can do that if they can get Kai Schmelzer home. He stands at third as the go-ahead run. It's up to Joey King to get him there. The 2-1 to King is poked foul down the first base side.
And everything just seems to be piling on for Fortunato. Back in the bottom of the fourth, faced 5 batters, and now already in this inning has faced 7. But like we said, this is what these exhibition games are for. Got to get the reps in, so the players are sharp come regular season.
The 2-2 is cut on and missed. Joey King's a strikeout victim for the second time today, and Fortunato gets out of the inning, but not before the T-Bolts score 2 and tie us at 5. through 5. It's a 5-5 ball game between the Grays and the Thunderbolts, heading to the 6th on the Thunderbolts Baseball Network.
Silver Spring Jewelry is the Washington area's only complete jewelry store with a staff of 13 jewelry associates and 8 goldsmiths. Now in 3 locations in Takoma Park, White Oak, and Silver Spring. Family owned and operated since 1971. Specializing in diamonds, custom engagement rings, repairs, engraving, and cash for gold. Go to silverspringjewelers.com for more information. Silver Spring Jewelry, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Takoma. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring has been dishing up deli classics since 1963. The Parkway Deli is a family business, and their family loves to bring great food and service to yours. The Parkway Deli is open 7 days a week, 8:30 to 9 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Saturdays and Sundays. The Parkway Deli on 8317 Grub Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Takoma. The Takoma Tour.
Welcome back to Silver Spring. Sam Bergstrom taking over the play-by-play duties here, as we are all knotted up at 5 apiece here in the top of the 6th. New pitcher coming in for the Thunderbolts is going to be Griffin Roussel, as this one is chopped to the shortstop, and it is off of the glove. So Freeman Hunt will reach first for the Grays off the E6. Not an ideal way to start things out for the T-Bolts. We'll see how Roussel can bounce back.
Yeah, Jonah Acosta's made a couple nice plays over there at short for the T-Bolts, but this one he couldn't come up with. It kind of eats him up, kicks off of the lip of the infield grass and gets by him.
Roussel's pitch is downstairs for a ball. And this one is laced to center field for a base hit. So Church will reach first. That will move Hunt over to second. And quickly 2 aboard here for the Grays with no outs.
Both Travis Church and Freeman Hunt have reached in both their plate appearances so far. They've set the table now for the Grays. First and second for Benny Bakar. He was a strikeout victim his first trip to the plate. Roussel got to be thinking about a double play here. Infield, kind of a double play depth.
Lefty stands in and takes a ball downstairs. Quickly 2-0 now to Bakar. Church on second and Hunt on first. The 2-0. Just drops in there for a strike. Count now at 2-1 for Bakar. Roussel's delivery just fouled off to the left side. Count now even at 2-2 for Bakar.
Bakar wrapping up his sophomore year at Southern University. Started 47 games for the Jaguars. Hit just 222, but was definitely a contributor for that team in the SWAC.
And he sends another one foul there to stay alive. Bakar, a native of Avon Park, Florida. We mentioned 2 T-Bolts are from Florida, the Miami natives Jonah Acosta and Sam Camacho. Let's see if Bakar can bring some Florida flair to the plate for the Grays. This one is lined to third. Off the hop, and they'll take the out at third. As Bakar reaches on the fielder's choice.
Well, not the prettiest there, as we see David Vazo, who played second earlier in this game. He's now over at third base, and the soft liner kind of eats him up, but luckily for him, he had a runner right in front of him and was able to just tag the base for the out. Good first down for Roussel to see happen. Now a double play gets him out of the inning. I feel like I've been trying to manifest it for a while, but still the case.
You can really see the diverse skill set from Vazo. As we mentioned before, had the highlight play earlier in the game that came off the chopper to first. Made a nice play to get the out on Bakar there. And Boyle sends this one to center field. Put away. Tagging is Church. He'll head to third. And so runners on first and third with 1 out to go here in the top of the 6th for Roussel.
It's good work by Finn Boyle to get it deep enough to allow at least the lead runner to advance. Not as important that the runner at first in Bakar is able to advance, but getting Church over to third is big. Even though there's 2 outs, a ground ball likely will score if it gets through.
And this one just gets by the catcher, but no harm done. Kelleher does a nice job protecting the ball there to make sure it doesn't get too far away.
Big spot for Parker Shenman here, too, for the Grays. This game tied. It has not been tied since the 3rd inning, but DC trying to reclaim that lead.
Shenman lines one to left field. It's going to be a base hit. In to score comes Church. Rounding third is Bakar, and he will score. It's a 7-5 Grays lead. Shenman slides into second. So Parker Shenman comes through with the 2 RBI single here in the top of the 6th.
Can't draw it up any better than that. Parker Shenman did exactly what he was needed to do. Sends a missile into left field, and both Bakar and Church score. Gets 2 for the price of 1, and the Grays lead is back to 7-5.
And just as you alluded to, Peter, all he needed was that little base hit, and that's exactly what they got. First pitch runs in. The count quickly 1-0. Roussel's pitch. And heading to third is Shenman. That one was awfully close to hitting Xavier Bradley, the righty catcher out of Atlanta, Georgia, who also, much like his teammate Bakar, attends Southern University. And he's one of multiple DC Grays to come out of Southern University this summer. Bradley grounds this one to third, fielded by Vazo. Over to Hartrick for the final out of the 6th. But not before the Grays take a 7-5 lead, courtesy of the 2 RBI single from Parker Shenman. We'll be right back here in Silver Spring. Keep it here.
Founded in 2019, brings laughter and a sense of fun to residents in Takoma Park and the DMV. The Takoma Torch features satirical articles about the region that those with a sense of humor can appreciate. Send a headline or idea their way to tacomatorch@gmail.com and watch what they do with it. The Takoma Torch is on the web at tacomatorch.com. Tacoma Torch, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. For over 30 years, the Athletic House has been providing teams, leagues, and businesses with uniforms, printed apparel, promotional items, and sports gear. Their on-site graphic design team can help craft a logo to fit all your needs. The Athletic House at 18952 Bonanza Way in Gaithersburg. Call them at 301-355-4740. The Athletic House, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring specializes in balancing, repair, and installation of your car's tires. The Radial Tire Company has experienced technicians with a commitment to quality service and comprehensive repair options. The Radial Tire Company on 9101 Brookville Road in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. United Therapeutics is guided by the principles of always striving to do the right thing and relentlessly pushing to always do better. As a result, the company was included among America's best companies by Forbes magazine. United Therapeutics in Silver Spring, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. Wild Bill Sports is
Welcome back to Thunderbolts Baseball Network. DC Grays currently lead Silver Spring Tacoma 7-5 here in the bottom of the sixth. And towing the mound for the Grays is Jackson Stallworth, the 6'1 lefty out of Millbrook, Alabama. As that one is taken outside by Matthew Kim. Stallworth attends Pensacola State College. Drops that one in for a strike. And in his freshman season with Pensacola, was able to strike out 33 batters, allowing a batting average of just under 300. And Peter, he's clearly got a stellar build. I mean, the guy is 6'1", 220 as Kim waves at that strike.
Yeah, built like an athlete, definitely is Stallworth. Did most of his work at Pensacola State as a hitter, but now is showing off the two-way ability. He's had a couple of at-bats in this game. Part of this multifaceted pitching attack for the DC Grays. He's the fourth pitcher of the game for the Grays squad.
Kim stands in. That one's taken for a ball. Kim in his last plate appearance in the bottom of the third grounded out to the shortstop as he just fouls that one off.
It's important for Kim to battle here after DC broke the tie with 2 in the top of the sixth. T-Bolt's obviously trying to get those runs back, and it starts off with Matthew Kim trying to set the table.
Kim waves and misses, and he is down on strikes, so Stallworth wastes no time getting busy here in the bottom of the sixth. Already picks up a K for the Grays.
Now batting, number 12.
Good battle on both sides between Stallworth and Kim, but it is Stallworth, the lefty arm for the Grays, that comes away victorious, puts away Kim for the first out. Now with the T-Bolts top of the order, they've got a chance to start a rally here.
And now we have a lefty-on-lefty matchup. Jonah Acosta comes in for the T-Bolts and takes a strike. As I said, I spoke with Acosta yesterday, and much like his teammate Sam Camacho, his favorite MLB player is also Puerto Rican. He grew up idolizing Francisco Lindor, and that's the reason he wears number 12 for the T-Bolts.
Not a bad player to idolize. I've heard Lindor has done pretty well in his major league career.
Absolutely. Acosta actually a Marlins fan from Miami. But he said he started following Lindor when he was on the Indians, so I guess the Mets-Marlins rivalry doesn't matter too much in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, good to see him looking past that and still looking at his idol. He's had a good day, kind of Lindor-esque here with a walk and a single.
That one just misses the zone. Acosta looking to stay alive. Stallworth's delivery. Swing and a miss. So Acosta down on strikes, and Stallworth picks up his second K here in the bottom of the 6th.
Now batting, number 4, Caleb.
You can already see how Stallworth has really good command of all of his pitches. That time he goes to the slider, and it dips below the bat of Acosta. First time Acosta's been retired today, and Stallworth working well so far. He struck out the first 2 T-bolts he's faced.
Absolutely, and that'll bring up Caleb Sturdivant. The righty stands in and fouls that one just above the plate. Sturdivant reached on a fielder's choice back in the bottom of the 4th. Stallworth's pitch. In there, and quickly an 0-2 count now to Sturdivant. Sturdivant, one of the multiple players coming out of Millersville University, him and his teammate Brady Grimes. As this one is lined to right field for a base hit. So after Stallworth punches out the first 2 batters, Sturdivant finds some success with a base hit to right field. And that'll bring up Gabriel Bagis. Stallworth slings. In there for a strike. Big Ez coming out of Falls Church, Virginia, attends University of Lynchburg. Sturdivant on first. This one is chopped to short. They cannot get the play at second, so they'll take the out at first for the final out of the inning. Stallworth works a beautiful piece of pitching. And we'll head to the top of the 7th. Still 7-5 Grays. Keep it here on Thunderbolts Network.
Is all about travel baseball and fun. At Wild Bill Sports, travel baseball is the journey players take to develop skills, increase confidence, and grow with integrity on and off the field. Wild Bill Sports also promotes community engagement and giving back. Contact Wild Bill Sports at wildbillsports.com. Wild Bill Sports, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton has been serving Washington musicians since 1958. Chuck Levin's is famous for its repair facilities for guitars, woodwinds, brass, strings, and electronics. Chuck Levin's Washington Music Center at 11151 Veers Mill Road in Wheaton, a proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma.
COA in Gaithersburg is committed to shaping kids' lives through sports. COA aims to develop each child to their full potential as an athlete and a person, both in the classroom, in competition, and anything in between. Let them help you and your student athlete. You can find COA Sports at coasports.org. COA, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma.
Jay Hollinger's water.
Ethan Fox Hernandez.
Welcome back to Silver Spring. Grays still lead this one 7-5. New pitcher on the mound for the Thunderbolts is going to be Ryan Becker, the senior out of McDaniel College. Stands in. And he'll take on Fox Fernandez for the Grays. Becker delivers a ball to start things out. Becker in his first 3 seasons with McDaniel has overall amassed an average of a 5 ERA and has struck out that one's taken for a ball. Overall record across his collegiate career is 4-1. And Fox Fernandez quickly works a 3-0 count here in the top of the 7th. And Fox Fernandez in his freshman season at Vassar batted .340 with 14 RBIs. Fox Fernandez thought he had a walk, but that one just sneaks inside the zone. Count now at 3-1 for the Washington, D.C. native. That one just fouled back to the screen. Count now full at 3-2. Becker looking to bring the buzz for the T-Bolts. The 3-2. Fouled off into the T-Bolts bullpen. So Fox Fernandez stays alive and will do it again. Becker's delivery. Fox Fernandez grounds this one to second. Easy play over to first, and there's one away for the T-Bolts in the top of the 7th.
Good work by Ryan Duker to retire Fox Fernandez there. He fell behind 3-0 as the first batter of his outing, but he's able to battle back and eventually draw some weak contact to the right side. Easy play over there for the Thunderbolts, and like you mentioned, there's one out now. Thunderbolts just trying to keep this lead where it is.
And we'll see if he can keep a similar approach against Joey Chitla, sophomore out of Wake Forest, North Carolina. That one nearly hits him. But Chitla takes it for a ball. Becker brings the heater, but it misses the zone. Quickly 2-0 now to Chitla. Becker's pitch. That one just misses the top of the zone. Now, Peter, it's interesting. Chitla was a redshirt freshman at Wake Forest. It looks like in 2026 played 1 game at East Carolina and did not record any offensive statistics. A summer ball program like this is a perfect way to get some reps in and prepare him for his upcoming collegiate campaign.
Yeah, he's been around. He's been Wofford. He's been W&M. But now he's here with the Grays trying to make an impact and get his team an extended lead.
Becker able to find the zone there. Count now full at 3-2 with 1 out to go here in the top of the 7th. The pitch from Becker. Line to left field. It's going to be a base hit for Chitla. So the North Carolina native with a base knock here in the top of the 7th. One aboard with 1 out for Becker, and that will bring up Boganski for the Grays. The infielder out of Marist University. There goes Chitla for second. The throw is not in time. So Joey Chitla swims in safely with a stolen base. Runner now in scoring position with 1 out here in the top of the 7th for Boganski.
Well, heck of an effort by Matthew Kim over at second base. Throw by Schmelzer bounces in, but Kim somehow comes up with it cleanly, just could not get the tag to Chitla in time.
And there he goes for third. The throw to Vazo, it is in time. So a beautiful play there from the Thunderbolts. Kai Schmeiser able to hit David Vazo for the assist. And now there are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th for the T-Bolts.
Yeah, Chitla trying his luck there, trying to go back-to-back, but not going to happen, especially with Schmelzer behind the plate. He's been such a good defensive catcher at Wooten High School.
Boganski grounds this one over to short. Over to Hartrick, and that will do it. Becker escapes trouble. Grays still lead this one 7-5. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th. Keep it here on Thunderbolts Network.
Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring serves up Chop House classics, fresh seafood, Chesapeake Bay oysters, and hyper-seasonal local produce. It has one of the best bars in downtown Silver Spring, serving craft cocktails, beer, and wine. Jay Hollinger's Waterman's Chop House at 8606 Colesville Road in Silver Spring. A proud supporter of your Silver Spring Tacoma Thunder. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. SkyPoint believes banking should be easy to understand, personalized, and focused on making the community a better place. Whether opening your first account or planning for your future, SkyPoint has the financial tools to help you hit it out of the park. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union. They make banking simple. Visit SkyPoint's branch in Silver Spring. More at skypointfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA and an equal housing lender. SkyPoint Federal Credit Union, a proud supporter of the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. The AFI Silver
All right, the 7th inning stretch has concluded here in Silver Spring. DC Grays currently lead this one 7-5 over the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts. It has been quite the fun exhibition matchup thus far today at Montgomery Blair Baseball Stadium. I'm Sam Bergstrom giving you play-by-play coverage. And joining me in the booth is Patrick Moran. You heard him earlier in the game. Pleasure to have you back, Patrick.
Good to be back.
And we have a new pitcher for the Grays. It's Mason Weaver, the righty sophomore out of Wofford College. And he fires a fastball in there for strike number 1. Weaver set the high school Weaver set the record for most strikeouts in a season at Homestead High School in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And he clearly has a ferocious fastball as he's able to get the Thunderbolts swinging and missing. Nolan Cutney quickly behind 0-2 here in the bottom of the 7th. That one just a bit outside for a ball. Weaver winds up. 2-1 is downstairs, so count now even for Cutney. Cutney previously with an RBI single back in the bottom of the 4th. Was able to score Caleb Sturdivant. And he now works a full count after falling behind 0-2, has shown superb plate discipline.
Well, Sam, you look at a guy like Nolan Cutney as a returning member of this league. Thunderbolts are really looking for him to step up, kind of be a leader. He knows his way around, and he's a very talented player, so they're hoping for the best out of him.
Cutney rung up on strikes. Weaver able to get the best of him there. Quickly one away here in the bottom of the 7th.
Now batting, number 6.
Looked like Weaver just dotted it on the outside part. Cutney wasn't sold on what was being offered to him, and moving forward, you might want to swing at those pitches, and you want to defend with 2 strikes, but good that Cutney has a sense of the zone.
Stepping in now for the T-Bolt is David Vazzo, and you're absolutely right, Patrick. I mean, when you work so hard to get the count back up to 3-2, and it's unfortunate to see a strike end up in there. Vazzo has flashed his glove amazingly here in the infield today. Has had a couple highlight plays both at second base and at third baseman. Patrick, do you see Vazzo moving around the infield at all this season as a returning member of this team?
I think he showed really well at shortstop last season, so maybe Brock Hunter wants to keep him there, but I appreciate that Brock Hunter is looking for some versatility out of his, infielder that's coming back, showing that leadership, and I think it's good for Vazzo to have those abilities in the back pocket where he can play a couple of different positions and, they can see what they have in him.
Absolutely. So Vazzo lines out to Benny Bakar at shortstop. So quickly 2 away now here for the T-Bolts. And now back in the box for the Bolts is Max Kelleher. Waved on and missed. Good breaking the ball there from Weaver to fool Kelleher. Kelleher in his last time up in the bottom of the 5th flew out to center. Takes a breaking ball in there for strike number 2. That one just below in the dirt. So Weaver at Wofford has not seen much action. However, he's looking pretty good here in the bottom of the 7th, wouldn't you say, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, he's dotting some pitches, making some good ones, and that's what you want to see in a preseason game, kind of some confidence on the mound.
Absolutely. Here's the 1-2 delivery. That one just gets by the glove of the catcher. Count now even 2-2 with 2 strikes, as the Grays lead by 2 here in the bottom of the 7th. And now Kelleher works a full count. Much like Cutney did, he was quickly behind 0-2, worked the full count. But Cutney was hit with a backwards K. Let's see what Kelleher can do.
It's a different pass. No, it isn't. Yes, it is. It's on the administration.
And Kelleher draws the walk here for the T-Bolt, so a nice job of staying patient. And so there will be a runner on first with 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th for the T-Bolts.
I think it's good that these Thunderbolts hitters are seeing a lot of pitches in these at-bats. Right, you mentioned how Cutney's got to a full count, and he took a look at strike 3, but how Kelleher is drawing the walk on a 3-2 pitch, and they've been working full counts all day. I think that's a really encouraging sign, and you can kind of take advantage of command when not as many pitchers have it in this league.
Absolutely, Patrick. And it's especially tough in a summer ball program. You don't really know these opposing pitchers and what they can bring to the table. So it's always encouraging to see guys with good plate discipline, especially against pitches you don't even know you're going to see sometimes. In the box now for Takoma is Sam Camacho.
For sure. And, you consider how all these pitchers are coming from a ton of different levels. You could be seeing a guy out of the University of Maryland one inning, and then the next he's coming from this small liberal arts D3 type of college.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's just so much variance in this league, and I think that's what makes it cool, right? Guys get to compete with guys at different levels, but can make it a little difficult to prepare.
Absolutely. And I asked Brock Hunter about that earlier in practice yesterday, and he said he thinks it's very beneficial for the D3 and D2 guys to face these D1 arms, because if you can hit off a D1 arm, you can hit off anyone in D3.
Yeah, and we've seen it on this Thunderbolts team. You consider a guy like Steve Thomas, who went to the Catholic University of America, and he was able to make the D3 to D1 jump. And that could have been partially because he was getting the looks out here on the summer circuit. We're seeing Brendan Featheroff go from D2 to D1. You know, this could be a guy. This is a league where you can get some different looks, and you know maybe you can make a leap in 2 months.
It's a great point, Patrick. You know, level of competition, it's not what it once was. You know, guys who are you look at a guy like Mason Miller. He started off at D3, worked his way up. Now he's regarded as one of the best relievers in Major League Baseball. Who knows? Maybe a Tacoma Thunderbolt reliever is going to end up being the next Mason Miller.
Or a Jacob Mizorowski, who started off at a junior college and is now one of the best starting pitchers in the game. I mean, baseball is so cool in where guys can make their own story, and every story is unique to every player. So, whatever path you take to the big leagues, it doesn't have to be cookie cutter. It doesn't have to be conventional.
Absolutely. And into the box now for the Thunderbolts is Trent Lopez. And it's interesting, you know, Weaver, he really looked comfortable in his facing his first two batters. Got Cutney looking with the breaking ball for a backwards K, and then he got Vaza to line out to shortstop. But since then, he has issued 2 walks. Perhaps he's lost a little bit of control here in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball is in there for a strike. That'll bring the count even at 2-2 with 2 outs to go. Pardon me, the count 2-1. Lopez looks, swings, and misses. Now the count at 2-2 with 2 outs. Remember, Lopez back in the bottom of the 2nd on a full count. Walked in David Vazo with a pitch upstairs. But he's rung up on strikes here. Clearly didn't like that call, but Weaver escapes trouble. Still 7-5 Grays. We'll head to the top of the 8th here in Silver Spring.
We head to the top of the 8th here at Blair Baseball Stadium. I'm Patrick Brand alongside Sam Bergstrom. And the Thunderbolts are bringing in yet another arm. We're going to get a look at Franco Pistella, the native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
And he's going to face another Pennsylvania native, Connor Lawrence, the native of Red Lion, Pennsylvania.
So Pistella out of Oberlin College, a rising sophomore, 5'10", 190 on the mound. Slinging it from the left-hand side. We've seen a couple lefties today. The 1-1. Outside, ball 2.
And obviously Pistella out of Pittsburgh. It's really a testament to how global this team is. Obviously you have Camacho and Acosta coming from Miami. You have Hartrick coming from Boulder, Colorado. It really shows how guys can come from all over the globe and really unite over this love they have for the game of baseball.
Yeah, it's a great point. As the count goes 3-1, and I think something that I've thought about with working here is that being in the D.C. area, the DMV, I get a real draw for some of these college guys.
Absolutely.
And, they get to be in a different place. They get to travel a little bit, and they have pretty easy access to Washington, D.C., so I think there's a lot of incentives to go play in the Ripken League. And a lot of these teams are close enough to D.C. where you can enjoy it. So,
in the case of the Grays, they are in D.C. playing at Talbot Field and Catholic University.
I'm sure you know a lot about that, being a Catholic University student.
Absolutely. Beautiful field. As Connor Lawrence is able to take second there off the wild pitch.
So Pistella down in the count, 1-0. Checks the runner at 2. Matthew Kim at second, kind of teetering around as that is fouled back. Hitter up the plate is Caden Brown, the freshman out of Southern University, two-way guy. So maybe at some point this season we'll get to see him on the bump as well. That's outside, ball 2.
As a matter of fact, Patrick, we did see him on the bump earlier today in the bottom of the 3rd, and he worked a 1-2-3 inning.
How about it? That's pretty cool. Doing both in the same game. Gotta make you feel good.
Obviously, the Thunderbolts have one two-way player on the roster of their own.
As that is driven out. That's going to be dumped in there for a single. Runner goes to third. Not in time. Also able to keep it in front, but that will advance the runner to third, and we'll have 2 runners on the corners. Coming up now is Peyton Ford. Pennsylvanian tried and true. From Pennsylvania, goes to school in Pennsylvania. As he is hit by the pitch.
And Patrick Brown has really been double trouble today with he issued a K on the mound, a backwards K to King, and was able to lace a base hit right there. Really love to see when two-way players come alive in these type of games.
I mean, this is a really good place to test out those skills.
Absolutely.
As Pistella's first pitch is inside for ball 1 to Evan Rosario. The native of Lanham, Maryland, goes to Shepherd University. That pitch is in the dirt, ball 2. Pistella's 2-0. Upstairs, ball 3.
So nowhere to go for Pistella.
Tough spot to be in as he fires a strike. Evan Rosario at the plate. Appeared in 32 games with 26 starts for Shepherd, and he hit .333 in 90 at-bats.
And Patrick, a 3-0 count with the bases loaded, it's not as easy as a scenario as it may seem, You really feel the pressure to get on base and drive in a run, and that can make you do things that you normally wouldn't do.
It is probably the highest intensity moment of execution for pitchers. And that's fouled away again.
And you already see the count's now loaded up at 3-2.
Pistella's going to have to earn it against Rosario. We will run back the full count pitch. Pistella deals. That's tapped. Vazo kind of almost threw across his body, but that ball kind of was in no man's land on the grass in the infield. That's going to bring in a run for the DC Grays.
Yeah, and I think if Vazo made that throw, I do not think it would have been on time. So I think it was a wise play for him to kind of eat that there, even if it means DC scoring a run because it avoided more turmoil. Perhaps if that ball gets by, DC's leading 9-5 or 10-5.
You could tell he was going to make the full effort. He's quite an athlete out there. But I do agree with you. Wise of him to not make a throw and potentially cause more chaos, which this league already has enough of. It's the same exact situation for the DC Grays, who are at the plate right now, except they were able to get the run in, but they keep the bases loaded for Evan Wilson, another two-way player out of the University of Richmond, competing in the A10, a D1 conference, so he is well prepped to be here. That's hit back up the middle. Matty K, nice play. He gets two. Matthew Kim, such a great defender at second base, able to tap the bag in a running motion and make a throw at the same time, and he collects a crucial double play.
Just absolutely gem of a 4-6-3 double play right there. Patrick Kim keeping his composure at second, and they execute that. And the lead still remains at 8-5.
I mean, that's just the type of player Matthew Kim is. We've seen him defend second base really well. And I know it's not as cool as shortstop, but, it's still important to have some strong up-the-middle defense. Stella fires a ball into Ryan Stoddard out of Lafayette College. Really upright stance in the box as Pistella kind of backs him off the plate for ball two.
It's interesting, this T-Bolts team has a lot of guys from the DMV area. I think what you see with this DC Grays team is a lot of guys from the South. You have natives of Alabama, Florida, Georgia. Stoddard himself is a native of Sarasota, Florida. It's a very, very interesting dynamic here in the Cal Ripken League.
It kind of amazes me, Sam, where some of these guys come from to play summer ball. There's no doubt about it. Which, I respect it. That's you're grinding your way. And David Vazo, a really nice play over at third base, defending the hot corner really well, shifting over there mid-game. And he's going to get Pistella out of the eighth. We'll head to the bottom of it coming up next.
Leadoff for your Thunderbolts, number
Back here on the
20,
Thunderbolts
Kai
Baseball YouTube channel.
Schmeiser.
The Thunderbolts trail 9-5 after 7.5 innings. New arm on the mound for the DC Grays, Simon Corbin, a sophomore out of Macalester College, pitching at the D3 level, native of Washington, D.C., went to Jackson Reed High School. .5'11", 175 on the mound. He's able to get ahead of Kai Schmeiser, 0-2. Corbin deals. That is hit the other way by Schmeiser, and he's able to poke it over the second baseman's head. Really nice backside hit there from the backstop, getting it over the head of Connor Lawrence. And that is a leadoff single.
And Patrick, obviously not ideal. The T-Bolt's down 4 here in the bottom of the 8th. But the Kai Schmeiser base hit, that's a great sign for the T-Bolts to turn things around, don't you think?
Absolutely. I mean, you want to get that leadoff man on. It's a crucial part if you have kind of a deficit to come back from. Now the T-Bolts bring Aiden Prell to the plate.
And Prell's last time up, he got hit with the strikeout looking against Fortunato. Let's see how the lefty looks against Corbin here.
Favorable matchup for him, right against left. As the first pitch from Corbin is outside. Oh, 1-0 on its way, pardon. Upstairs, ball 2. That pitch is a strike on the outer part of the plate. So runner on first. Thunderbolts down 9-5 against the DC Grays here in the bottom of the 8th on May 31st against the DC Grays. That is off the glove of the backstop. And Kai Schmeiser is able to advance 90 feet to second base.
Yeah, and the sun is set here in Silver Spring. The lights have come alive here in the outfield. You got to think, how is that going to affect the catcher here? Obviously, much different point of view behind the plate. Might have affected that catch there.
I would think it would make it a little bit easier because the sun normally throws off the catchers, but that is hit well out to center field. A nice catch out there. Not able to advance any runners as it was hit kind of to the left center gap. That'll be the first out of the inning.
Now batting, number 36, Joey King.
Joey King will get a shot here late in the game out of St. Olaf's College, the native of Potomac, Maryland. Seen him getting some looks on the right side of the infield as he ropes it foul. Third base coach Max Ecker almost making a nice barehanded snag.
And with that hack, you can almost say that King was looking to power one into the Potomac.
Good point there. Instead, he drills it foul into the ground, maybe getting on top of it from his initial goal. The 0-1 from Corbin. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Really nice breaking ball there. Had King fooled.
Had me fooled, too.
So you're saying if you were in the box, you would have just flailed at it?
I think the bat would have gone flying into the DC Grays dugout, Patrick.
Well, there's no netting over there, so hopefully it wouldn't hurt anybody. As that is hit to the backside, fly ball to right. Might be able to tag is Schmeiser. He's going to make an attempt, and he's in there standing.
Now batting, number 2, Matthew Kim.
Now Matthew Kim will get another at-bat. Saw him turn a nice double play at second base. And again, you always got to shout out the no batting gloves approach for him.
Absolutely. Shades of Trent Grisham out here.
Or Austin Hayes, former Oriole that I loved watching for a while.
Of course, you mentioned, Patrick, the double play. We'll see if that translates here and if Kim can deliver at the dish.
That pitch was in the dirt, kind of skipped away from the catcher. So it is 2-0. You know, you look at a guy like Matthew Kim and what his role has been these past few seasons here in Silver Spring, Tacoma, and he's just done a really good job of turning the lineup over, being a scrappy player at the bottom of the lineup. Those are the guys that you really have fun watching and are very, very useful to a baseball team.
Absolutely, Patrick. And don't be fooled. Even though Kim comes from a community college, he can still compete with the big dogs at the best.
Spent some time at Gettysburg College up in Pennsylvania and then transferred to Frederick Community College. So he's been bouncing around a little bit trying to find his footing, but as long as he sticks with it, he's a really solid player that I've enjoyed watching for a minute now here with the T-Bolts. And he'll take his walk. Right on cue, he's turning it over. Next man up.
Number 12, Jonah Acosta.
So, Corbin had a nice command with that breaking ball, but Kim was able to regroup nicely and draw the walk there for the Thunderbolts.
I mean, a hitter like Kim, he's just not trying to do too much, and that's a really good thing. I mean, he just wants to put the ball in play, get on base, and he's going to fight his way to do whatever his team needs. As Acosta is able to smash a single to the right side, to the pull side. Matthew Kim pulling in the third, and the Thunderbolts have life. It is now 9-6. Now we'll get a look at Caleb Sturdivant.
Number 4, Caleb Sturdivant.
Another guy that was here last year, ended the season quite well and played premium defense out in center. This is a Gold Glove caliber player if the Ripken League gave out that award. We'll take one down low for ball one.
I was able to talk to Caleb at practice yesterday. He really emphasized the point of being able to start out hot to start the season. And he said, if you start out hot, you can get rolling, get the guys feeling good. And they'll have a big test on June 2nd against Bethesda, the defending league champs.
Corbin's been able to flip that breaking ball in there, and it looks pretty good from up here, but sometimes he's been able to spot it, sometimes not as much. The 2-0 to Sturdivant. Upstairs, ball 3.
And I think with a lot of these pitchers today, what we've been seeing is, some really great stuff in their arsenal. It's just a matter of putting all the pieces together and really watching their game to come to fruition this season.
I mean, this is the perfect time to just tinker with arsenals if you're a pitcher and really see what can work, what you want to emphasize hitter to hitter, and what you need to do to execute. And these pitchers are in a perfect place to figure all that out. Sturdivant waits on the 3-1. He'll take ball 4. The bases are now loaded for the Bolts.
And, obviously baseball, it's not a science, it's an art. And in art, you're going to have a messy canvas sometimes. And that's the beauty of it, you know.
It's a great point.
You're not always going to paint inside the lines.
I mean, there is no like conventional way to be good. I mean, everyone's finds their way of making an impact in baseball. And I think that's what makes it so cool, is that there's so many different archetypes of players that can have an impact and make a difference on one game, and they can find their way in a professional sport. Now it is Gabriel Pegues out of Lynchburg. He's going to dribble one through the 5-hole, and that will bring in 2 runs. The throw goes over the head of the backstop for the DC Grays, and Pegues will end up on second, bringing in 2 runs, and now this is a 9-8 ball game.
Yeah, we see Kim and Acosta able to score there for the Thunderbolts, and Sturdivant able to move to third.
Looks like that'll end the inning. Of course, an exhibition, you don't want to soak up too much time, and the Thunderbolts are fine with wrapping up the inning, but a good offensive showing from the Bolts. Stick with us here on the Thunderbolts YouTube channel as we head into the 9th. Wade Hartrick will take the mound for the last inning of regulation. For the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts, it is now 9-8. DC Grays only ahead by 1 run.
And Hartrick, as we were alluding to earlier, the only two-way player on this year's Thunderbolts squad. And I was able to speak with Wade yesterday at practice. I asked him, what he's looking to improve upon in both aspects. He said with the pitching side, really looking to get a bit sharper, better command with the breaking pitches, and then on the catching side, he's just looking for some at-bats, some innings. He's hoping to do a good amount of both this season.
It's really cool. Really cool. Great place to get that type of work in.
And obviously last season, Brady Grimes was a two-way player for this T-Bolt squad, was a powerhouse at the plate, also a stellar pitcher. Dick O'Connor, the general manager of the T-Bolts, went as far as to say he was our Shohei Ohtani last season. Perhaps Wade Hartrick can be that type of archetype this season for Silver Spring Tacoma.
It's a good way to put it for Grimes. I mean, that guy is quite a physical specimen. I mean, just being around him, he is huge. 1-1 from Hartrick. In there for strike 2.
Absolutely, and Grimes is going to get the start on the bump against Bethesda on June 2nd for the regular season home opener for the Thunderbolts. It's going to be a huge way to set the tone against the regular season defending champions and the Cal Ripken League champions as well.
Next pitch is inside. Evens the count up at 2-2.
Hartrick, you can see he has a silky smooth slider. It's all just a matter of pinpointing that location precisely.
Count is even at 2-2. Looked like it was there, but didn't get the call. That is popped up. Looks like he has room. Schmeiser makes the catch. Way to stick with it there. That'll be the first out of the inning for the Bolts.
Now batting number 3, Xavier Bradley.
And Rubinski was previously able to reach first in the top of the 5th, but had no luck, flying out to Kai Schmeiser at catcher.
So 1 out in the top of the 9th. 9-8. DC Grays lead by 1. First pitch inside for ball. Hartrick, a native of Boulder, Colorado. Don't see that too often. That pitch is in there for strike 1.
Yeah, I actually asked Wade what made him come out all the way from Boulder, Colorado. He said he had a teammate last season from this area who played for the Thunderbolts, and he was looking for the opportunity to play summer ball. He was able to get connected.
That is absolutely ripped.
Bradley connected with that one for a base hit.
That is right to the left side in left field for a base hit. Really nice job by Xavier Bradley to get the barrel on that one. And that'll put a runner on first with 1 out. Pitch is in the dirt, able to keep it close is Schmeiser.
And much as we've alluded to all broadcast long, guys coming in from different locations, Hartrick himself said it's really cool to get a group of guys together from a bunch of different places with different backgrounds all together to play baseball. And he believes it's a cool aspect for the fans to experience that as well.
It's a good team building quality. That is in there for a strike. Pitch from Hartrick is a little bit inside to Aaron Rowell.
And we've seen that a couple times now, Patrick, where Hartrick is slinging a slider and it just runs inside and nearly hits the pitcher. Be interesting to see how he controls that command throughout the season.
Really unique for a guy like Hartrick who can play both sides of the battery. So he's able to understand what the catcher's thinking from a pitching perspective, and then he's able to understand how the pitcher is thinking from a catching perspective. It's not typically something you see, but of course the Ripken League is the exact place you're going to find it. Count is even 2-2. Hartrick deals inside once again. He is really backing Rowell off the plate. Rowell, a freshman at Pensacola State College. Seen a couple of guys come out of there here in this game. Who knows if we'll continue to see that throughout the league. Full count pitch. Tapped over to third and foul.
And he should be glad it was foul because that was squibbing over to David Vazo, who's made some electric plays today on the diamond for the Bolts.
Hartrick's going to have to earn this out against Rowell. Saddles in. Winds and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blows the fastball by him for out number 2, keeping the runner at first.
Now batting, number 32, Jackson Stallworth.
And Stallworth has actually made an appearance on the mound back in the bottom of the 6th, had a really efficient inning. Was able to strike out both Kim and Acosta.
He'll take the first pitch outside for a ball.
So it seems like the Grays have a couple of these two-way guys they're looking to experiment with here in this exhibition game. Stallworth and as well as Caleb Brown, who we saw earlier, both on the rubber and in the box.
And, of course, back-to-back Pensacola State College bats. The 1-0. In there for strike 1. About to say strike 2.
And it's interesting because Stallworth was primarily a hitter in college. So to see him on the mound here, it's maybe something, the start of a new career path for Stallworth that we're seeing unfold right before our eyes.
Sure, he'll get an opportunity to do both this summer. That's in there for strike 2. Hartrick deals with a 1-2, and he gets him to chase. Nice inning from Hartrick, as he will lead the Thunderbolts into the bottom of the 9th, looking to have a little fun with a walk-off here in this exhibition game. Stay with us on the Thunderbolts YouTube channel.
Number 14, Nolan Cutney.
Looks like Simon Corbin will keep the rock here for the bottom of the ninth. Nolan Cutney, leadoff man in this inning. DC Gray's up 9-8. Last chance for the Thunderbolts in regulation, although I would imagine this game will end regardless of the score after 9. Cutney takes outside 1-0. Cutney lines it up the middle. That's going to be, oh my, that's thrown away. Cutney is going to race to second, and he is going to be out. Really like the thought there from Nolan Cutney as the ball was thrown away, but instead he's going to pay a hefty price, getting a little too greedy.
And Patrick Corbin's had really a roller coaster of a ride this evening. Back in the bottom of the 8th, he allowed the base hit to Kai Schmeiser. Was able to deliver 2 force outs, but then issued a walk, gave up a single, gave up another walk, and eventually gave up a 2 RBI single that ended the inning. And we're already off to a roller coaster ride here in the bottom of the 2nd as Cutney is gunned down at second after the wild throw.
Would have been nice to have that leadoff man on, but instead the T-Bolts are working with 2 outs. David Vazzo will take strike 2.
Vazos brought some serious voltage for the Bolts in the diamond. He's made multiple highlight plays, both at second and third base.
I mean, he's just that type of player. He's really dynamic in plenty of ways. He can run the base as well. He can field. He can hit a little bit. I mean, he can do just a lot of different things, and Brock Hunter really should be taking advantage of that for the Thunderbolts as Vazzo's here for his 2nd straight summer. He rips one foul on 2.
Yep, one of 8 players returning from 2025, and you got to think Brock Hunter is looking at Vazzo as a key leader for this summer's 2026 squad.
Vazzo will take the breaking ball inside. Nobody is warming in the DC Grays bullpen, so this is Simon Corbin's inning to lose right now. He's got the green light to continue to pitch as Vazzo drills one. That might be out of here. It is deep and caught. Really got a hold of it there. And a great swing from David Vazzo. He should absolutely be taking into the regular season, but able to track it down in left field.
Now batting, number 27.
And that'll be the 2nd out of the inning.
Yeah, you got to love the aggressive cut from Vazzo there. Just got under it maybe just a tad bit.
And that's some fun pop from a guy who's 5'10", 180. Kind of outplaying the size there, which is really cool.
Perhaps shades of some Jose Altuve here in Silver Spring.
The Silver Spring Altuve. Although it's tough to be a Jose Altuve type of player when he's arguably a Hall of Famer. Kelleher grounds it to shortstop. This might be it. He is hustling down the line, but that is out number 3. And the Silver Spring Tacoma Thunderbolts will drop this preseason game 9-8. Great effort all around. A lot of great reps across the board. Sam, what were you seeing from these guys throughout this entire game?
Well, obviously we got action from basically everybody in the lineup, which you love to see. Obviously we were alluding to the highlight defensive plays by Vazzo, but I think Jono Costa looked great at the plate, really patient with his at-bats. And obviously we got to see two-way players from both squads, Wade Hartrick for the Thunderbolts, and we also saw Caleb Brown as well for the Grays. So it was fun to see so much experimentation here in this exhibition game from both teams. You know, obviously it was a high-action game, a lot of scoring, and we hope the Thunderbolts can carry that energy into the regular season opener against Bethesda.
Right, and, you know, a game like this, the results don't matter as much. You just want to see what you have, get as many different looks as you can, and just, again, build that team camaraderie, right? A lot of these guys are coming from a bunch of different places, as we've talked about, so I think there are plenty of positive signs coming out of this game, and the Thunderbolts should be in a good mindset, scoring 8 runs to start off the season unofficially. Thank you so much for tuning in with us here on the Thunderbolts Baseball YouTube channel. It has been an absolute pleasure to broadcast this game before the season starts June 2nd. The Thunderbolts will open the season against the Bethesda Big Train at Shirley Povich Field. We will have that game for you right here on the Thunderbolts YouTube channel. For Peter Kelly and Sam Bergstrom, I am Patrick Moran, and we'll catch you next time.